Hi, Dennis. How are you?
Okay.
Just okay?
Running behind. Too many
Oh,
things
thank you,
going on.
Mr. Sewell. You saved our printer a bunch of money.
Did we, open on?
Not quite. Brandon's busy.
Wait for me.
Yeah, we're waiting for Tim. Are we up? Oh, we're up. Okay, so we'll call to order.
Bing, bing, bing.
Bang, bang. Here, you want an official for the last night?
Do it
Okay.
for the last night. Good job.
You gotta do it hard, man.
I don't want to break it. This looks old. I don't want to break it.
That'd be amazing.
They should give it to you.
All right, we'll call to order. We'll move to roll call. Michelle, geez, the microphone's really picking up good tonight. Like way back here even.
Trustee Wood,
Here.
Trustee Tarpley,
Here.
Trustee Henderson,
Here.
Trustee Brady,
Here.
Trustee Pinkerton,
Here.
Superintendent President Dan Walden is absent, and in his seat is Executive Vice President Deputy Superintendent John Nolan.
Here.
And any public comments related to closed session? Announcement of and recess to closed session. So we will go to closed session. We're already, you got us in closed session up there, don't you? Are we offline? Shh. Tim said shh.
Was somebody saying shush?
Tim did, he said shh.
Am I hearing things?
There's Jeff.
Good evening.
Hey-oh.
What up, Jeff?
How's everyone this evening?
Live, so we'll call to order, and we will start with roll call.
Trustee Wood,
Here?
Trustee Tarpley,
Here.
Trustee Henderson.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Pinkerton.
Here.
Student Trustee Dining.
Here.
Sorry. And Superintendent President Dr. Daniel Walden is out, and in his seat is John Nolan.
All right, then we have 3.3, the Pledge of Allegiance. I understand that we have our new Victorville Police Department Sergeant with us this evening, whose name I don't know.
My name is Ken Gallagher. Nice to meet you guys.
Gallagher?
Gallagher.
Gallagher, Sergeant Gallagher. All right, Sergeant Gallagher, we're going to put you right on the spot here and ask you to lead us in the pledge.
All right. Ready to begin.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. All right, closed session report out. There's nothing to report out from closed session. Is Jeff going to tune up for that or no?
He threatened.
No, I'm here if you need me.
No, I just said there's nothing to report out from closed session.
That is correct. No reportable action.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes then, Jeff.
Great.
All right, 3.5, the moment that I've been waiting for 1 year. Rotation, and everybody else has been waiting for it. Rotation of officers. So let's see. So the first one will be the new board president, and I believe under the rules, there has to be a motion and a vote. So Dennis,
I will make a motion for.
I think Dennis motioned.
Second.
All right, so motion by Henderson, second by Brady. And just to be clear, that is to vote for Jennifer Tarpley for Presidente. We're all about to be your problem. All right, and so any discussion on that? And we'll call for a vote on that. Joe's gonna vote no. Vote no, Joe.
Make it an interesting year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Did it come up? Oh,
Taking it out with a bang.
hey, the good news is it's probably the last time we'll be able to screw that up for a good long while. So there you go. Student advisory vote.
Yee.
All right, there we go. That's a yes.
Thank you, Michelle.
I know, that was it. I don't mess it up too often, but once is too many.
Only twice.
Too excited.
All right, so do we want to do the swearing in, or do we want to keep going through the
Should we keep?
voting and then do all three swearings in, swearing,
I like that idea.
Yeah.
swearing in, swearing ins or swearing?
Swearing in of all the officers.
All right, so we'll move to 3.6. See, Jen's trying to delay taking over as long as possible. Vice President, so Dennis Henderson would be the next in line. Is there a motion for Dennis to be Vice President?
Motion.
Motion by Brady.
Second.
Second by Pinkerton. And any discussion? And student advisory vote?
Yay.
Let's see if he made it. Oh, Joe, Dennis, you barely made it.
Just barely.
Barely, you squeaked by, buddy.
3-2?
2-3.
2-3.
Oh, you know what, we'll do that. We'll do that. Do we have somebody for the invocation?
Do you know?
Do we have somebody for the
Yes,
invocation?
we do. We have Joe and Teresa over here.
All
From
right,
the Church of Latter-day Saints.
okay. Sorry, Joe, I forgot about you.
That's all right.
We'll get to you, though. 3.7, this is for Board Clerk, for Joseph W. Brady.
Motion.
Motion by Tarpley.
Second.
Second by Pinkerton and Henderson.
Fast.
And any discussion? Student advisory vote?
Yay.
I think that's his last official.
Right, that's probably my last time to mess that up with any luck.
Jinxing me.
All right,
She's live.
let's see if you made it, Joe. The suspense is killing me.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't voted for myself.
Landslide.
Barely made it. Barely made it. All right, so you guys want to do the swearing in now?
Yep.
I
The
mean,
next
you
one-
can just keep going.
The
It's
next one is election of, yeah, see already, you're like, I gotta go, I'm sick. The next one's the voting representative, so we can do that one. We can leave that one. All right, so first up will be Jen, who's swearing you in.
my hubby.
Uh-oh,
Mikey.
it's your time to shine. Come on up, Jason, come on up too. Come on,
Look how excited he was.
come on up.
Front and center.
Come right in the middle. All right, Mikey, your job is to not mess it up. Jason, your job is to make your mom laugh. Tim, do you want a microphone on them? That would be the best. Here, we got one right there. Here. Do this. Just kind of come this way. Yeah, it'll pick up. That one's super hot. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I,
Jennifer
you
Tarpley,
have to say it, I repeat
I know.
after you.
Jennifer Tarpley,
Jennifer Tarpley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation
that I take this obligation freely and without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Okay, you're there?
Thanks.
I don't know where we go. Like, what we gotta do next swearing?
Yes.
Dennis.
Oh, Dennis, I'm doing yours, Dennis, right?
Uh-oh. Never say never again.
All right, we're both joining the military here. All right, we'll go by the microphone. Is this catching us good enough, Tim? Like that? Is this good? All right, raise your right hand. I, Dennis Henderson,
I, Dennis Henderson,
do solemnly swear,
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of
and the
California
Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution
to the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of
and the
California,
Constitution of the State of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and I take this obligation freely
without mental reservation or
Without-
purpose
mental reservation or purpose
of evasion,
of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
about which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Whatever those duties are.
Whatever those are.
John.
Oh.
Tim's sitting at the fire, huh?
Uh-oh, she's the smart one.
Oh, you got your copy?
Yep.
She gave me one just in case I needed to read. So I'll follow your lead.
Thank you, Michelle. Don't say nothing about it, Art.
You notice that she only gave this to me to be sure I could read. That makes you feel good, Michelle, but thanks anyway.
Folks, with just the line about the swearing to the Constitution of the State of California, this is identical to the President of the United States. This is a very important oath. And we're going to have a pastor from the Latter-day Saints Church bless this event tonight. So I'm very honored that my brother, Joseph W. Brady, asked me to do this ceremony.
I'm honored to have you do it, dude.
Raise your right
And
hand.
Joe, I'm honored that you're here. Thanks.
I, Joseph William Brady,
Joseph William Brady,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and
against
domestic,
all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
I will bear true faith
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will make this obligation freely
that I will make this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or the purpose of evasion,
or the purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
and discharge the duties by which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thanks, brother.
All right, so just like that, I am now officially a nobody, and Jen is the president. But before we all trade seats, Michelle, you're gonna have to tell us where to go. I think I go there, right?
You're all right. Just move them, just switch.
No, I want her to have to sit here right in the middle.
I'm basically in the middle, it's fine.
We'll switch.
Let's just carry.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
we'll do it
I'm
later.
portable, but
Did you want to sit here? Over here?
I'm all right, I guess. I did just want to say real quick that it's been a real honor to serve as the board chair, the president of the board. With the rest of you, it's been great. Been fun, really been fun, and I'm happy to pass the torch, quite honestly. Let Jen come sit here and drive this bus of fun, but I'm happy
not
to
what you wanted to
happy to
say.
Fun
happy,
bus.
happy to take a back seat, but
So you're going to go back to truck driving?
exactly, it has been quite the pleasure and quite the honor to sit here and to hold the title and to serve the office and to be your president. Joe, Jen, Dennis, Sharon, it's been an honor. And with that,
Brandon, before we do that, I'd like to say something. One, we've known each other a long time, and I remember the first time we actually really met, you were in the audience at a time that there were a lot of concerned people in the region that were there. You know, Diana Carloni, Shannon, Holly Noel, Pat Caldwell, blah, blah, blah. You've come a long way. This is your second time as president. You did a great job. I know we had a couple board meetings that we had some pretty deep challenges on some topics that I think really needed to be vetted. And I think at the end, it all worked out well. You know, twice I got to see our new president get a little fired up. And, yeah, but that's what I think this is all about. I mean, we're all here fighting for the students. So I want to personally thank you for your time. There were some times there that, there were a lot of emails flying and some pretty strong opinions. I think both you and I are strong about our opinion, and we have a strong, president. So I want to personally thank you for your leadership. I enjoy working with you, and I enjoy having you on our board. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been fun.
That's been a good year.
Don't think you're retiring.
I know, I'm out. All right, so,
Fine.
Just moving.
Nice try.
So now do we have Joe to come up? Yeah.
all right, there you go, Jen.
Okay. Item 3.8, election of voting representative elector at the annual October meeting of school and community college district representatives. So this is our county, basically like rep. I've had the honor of serving as that for I think the last 2 or 3 years.
Would you like to do it again? So I'm going to motion you right now.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion that Jennifer continue for another year.
Wait, what?
Yeah, look how quick
Dennis,
that
do you
went.
want to do it?
No.
Okay.
I'll say
Okay,
second.
it's fine.
Who made the
I
motion?
like
I'll
it.
say
What's that? I
Sharon,
motioned,
well-
you made a second. Okay.
Sharon, how are you? You've been
Sorry.
around a little while. You got your,
you wanna go?
sea legs now.
I don't mind.
Oh, okay, then I'll rescind.
Please,
I
yeah.
think I did 2 or 3 years, and then Jen
I'm sorry, Sharon.
has done 2 years.
So then I rescind my motion,
You saw that, right?
correct?
I'll make a motion.
Just make a new motion.
Yeah.
Because I already wrote it.
I'll make a new motion that Sharon Pinkerton be our representative.
Okay.
Second?
Henderson.
Second.
Okay.
And are we electronic voting?
Yeah,
Student advisory vote?
Yay.
Whoa. Guess it out.
Okay. Oh, yes, thank you. And then out of order, let's go ahead and have Joe Spandreasen come up and do the invocation. So sorry at the beginning.
We can all bow our head. Our Heavenly Father, we're indeed grateful for the opportunity we have to be here tonight to be involved in the affairs that affect the students of the Victor Valley. We'd ask that Thy Spirit might be with us this evening, that Thou might bless all those who, as we discuss, as they share, as they work together as a board, that they might be guided and directed, to be able to act with unity. We are truly grateful, Father, for the opportunity we have to live in this great land. May Thou bless our leaders. Bless these board members that they might find joy in their service, and we are grateful for the service that they give of their time and talents. We had asked that Thou might be with those who stand in need of Thy guidance and comfort, especially those in the storms back east, that they might have comfort. As this board moves forward, we bless them that they might be able to have the inspiration that they might be able to do those things which will benefit the students of Victor Valley College. We are grateful for them. We are grateful for Thee. And we ask these things humbly and gratefully in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Joe, could I ask you a little favor, President Tarpley? Our president, Dr. Walden, lost his dad yesterday morning early. He lost his uncle 6 weeks ago. If you could, lead us in a prayer for the Walden family. He's not here tonight, obviously. Dr. Daniel Walden and his family. But his dad died yesterday morning at 2:23 in the morning.
We come tonight. Father, may thy spirit rest upon the Walden family. Bless them with thy spirit, thy comfort. Help us all that we might reach out and do what we can do to provide comfort in our own way. Bless them with thy spirit, that they might know what lies ahead, and that they will have the opportunity to see their loved one again because of thy Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ, and his atoning sacrifice. May thy blessings be with them. Send thy love, we pray, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
So it's, I think everybody on the board knew, right, when Dan's dad passed. For those of you that don't know, Dan's was very close to his dad. Was really upset when he knew that that it was coming. I talked to him about it. I'd kind of pondered. The reason that I paused and went and talked to Michelle was I was pondering having a moment of silence for him. Dan didn't want it to be kept a secret, but at the same time, he didn't really want it to be made public. He has limited time. He's in Texas right now. He's still trying to keep up on college emails and college business from afar. But I would ask, this is not a request from Dan, we didn't discuss it, but I know this to be true. I would ask that everybody not reach out to him, not hit him with emails. I know everybody's compelled. I've been compelled, but I haven't done it, to send him an email with my condolences. But as you can imagine, he's trying to keep up with the business of the college. If even half of everybody on campus sent him a "I'm so sorry, Dan" email, that's, you know, thousands of emails. He's got enough to do. I know what he's doing right now. He's trying to get everything taken care of, get his whole family arranged, get everything taken care of in Texas, so that he can get back here to us as quickly as possible. So I don't want him to get bombarded with emails or messages. I know it's tough, but if everybody could just kind of hold off on sharing your condolences with him, I'm sure he'll appreciate that, and that'll allow him to get done what he needs to get done and get through it and get back here to us safe and sound. So thank you for listening to that. And when people tell other people on campus, I'm sure it's gonna, people are gonna talk about it. Make sure that you pass along the message to please give him his space so that he can get everything done that he needs to get done.
Thank you, Brandon. So item 3.9 is announced, sorry to just go back into business. Okay, sorry, it's just weird. 3.9, announcement of items deleted or corrected from the agenda. We do have one item deleted or corrected, really, is item 11.2, add student Fernando Torres to the list of students traveling. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. Moving on. 3.1, we need to read the public comment announcement. The complete written request to address the board shall be submitted at the beginning of the open session portion of the meeting. Individuals may comment after being recognized by the board president and before board discussion of the particular item. Board Policy 2350. Are there any public comments related to a non-agenda item? Sorry, I didn't say all of it. Okay. Okay, so we are moving on to 5, correct? Help me just stay on track, thank you. Draft maps by trustee area, voting districts, feedback and changes. So we are opening the public hearing, is that correct? Okay, so that's open now. And is there anybody in the public that wants to address the maps? Did I hear crickets? No, okay. Crickets. So then we can close the public hearing, is that, or do we have any discussion?
We close the public hearing, and then
We're
we go
going to
into
close the
discussion.
public hearing. Okay, and then we can do the governing board discussion as it says on the agenda. Anybody have anything they want to say about the map?
I would,
I already give up.
Did we, I looked them over online. They looked right to me. They seemed to fix the problem, but Joe, this is your area of expertise, so I'm waiting for you to.
well, the reason I brought the current map, which is the bigger map on the bigger wall, it clearly shows what apparently happened in Spring Valley Lake, and today was the first time I've been able to spend any time, although things been in my office for 4 years. What happened was, when they divided the districts, they went right down Spring Valley Lake Parkway. So if you were west of the Parkway, you were in District 2, and if you were east of the Parkway or in the lake, you were in the Apple Valley. Where I think, Brandon, if you take a look and you go back up to the map that we approved in concept, you can't see where the river is. So what we agreed to was that the river was going to be what separates, and be sure that Spring Valley Lake is fully contained as a community of interest, which is under the 2019 Election Map Act or something. Communities of interest have to be included now differently than they were in 2017 or whenever we did this thing last. So, President Tarpley, what I would suggest is, we voted last month on the map there where Dennis is. And all I think we need to do is have them clarify that they've taken the line up to the river. And if they want to send it down, Brandon, your eyes are better than mine on a computer. I've got a group in the office that pulls stuff and has to blow it up for me all the time because of age, even with glasses. So that then Spring Valley Lake as a community of interest is all included. So that's what the issue. And I think we all agreed to it. It's just that we voted last time and we never even realized it.
So you want basically like the map that you brought in, you want to make sure that that border is touching?
Well, we agreed last meeting that the border would be the river.
Right.
But on that map right there, you can't really tell that it's the river because it looks like there's some lakes, and some of those lakes in there can sometimes be the river and when it ponds, however that they picked it up, yeah.
So you want something like the map that you brought in?
Yeah, that's just really, really clear. And if they want to send it over, I can take a look at it in 2 seconds.
Okay. Is this our last
No,
before the drawing?
no, February is, I think February's the last one.
Oh, he is. Hello, Jeff. How many more meetings do we have about this?
So, President Tarpley, if I could address this?
Well, that's got a good ring to it, huh?
Get used to it.
So tonight this is just draft map feedback and whether there's any additional changes to be proposed by the board. Your next regular meeting on January 11th, that is when the board will formally approve the final map. And then at your meeting on February 8th, there'll be a formal resolution for the board to adopt.
So this is
that-
last chance for changes? Okay.
Correct. That's what tonight is. And there won't be a vote tonight. It's just consensus. And if there's a consensus for additional changes beyond what has been made at the last meeting, the board consensus was the Plan B map, as I recall.
That's correct.
Correct. And Jeff, I think that the board, I mean, we fully approved. It just, the line isn't real clear. So if you can get the line moved over to where the Mojave River is, and to be sure that Spring Valley Lake as a community of interest is all included. Now, the area on the east side in Apple Valley is not a part of this new district. So I want to be sure for those in Spring Valley Lake. When we talk about a community of interest, we did agree, and the mapping people agreed that a boundary like a river, a road, could separate, and that's why we didn't include the people in the equestrian center. So,
It looked to me, I zoomed in real tight on the computer. I think the difference is the map like you have, that has all the roads. You can look and see like little tiny roads, residential streets and alleyways on that map. These maps that they're using now they're not quite as detailed, so you kind of have to guess where it's running, but it does look like on map 4, when you zoom in on a computer, it looks like the line goes right up the riverbed.
okay.
And then it circles back around Mojave Narrows Park. Nobody lives in there anyway, so back around Mojave Narrows Park and puts Mojave
goes
Narrows
back
Park
on up.
in Apple Valley, so it kind of follows the flow of the river. It looks accurate when you look at it and zoom in on a computer.
So are you requesting that the map people put B onto a map similar to yours, or are we good with just moving
it's
forward?
not that it's similar to mine. The map right here is the approved
Current,
boundary.
correct.
So what happens, as soon as this map is adopted in February, it goes to the county, and it'll take the county probably 30 days to put it in their system, and then anybody in the public can go to the GIS department and buy the maps. We buy maps from them all the time. If the mapping people can just do that, it's not, Brandon, when you say it's on the river, it's on the river. If I was that concerned, I would have picked it up when I ran for election last time.
Right.
That, it wasn't until Mike Page called me and a bunch of other people that said, we couldn't vote. But I think the bigger issue is the public should be able to come on in here at the next meeting in February and take a look at the map and say, yeah, we agree, we don't disagree. I mean, it's really about the public.
I just want to be clear, you are requesting that the map people make a map with those streets and RB.
I thought
I just want to know what you want.
Jeff, are you still on?
I am. And we also have this evening Kay Montplacer, if I pronounce that. She's
The
in place
map
of
people.
Liz Ditt this evening, and Kay just popped on. So,
I'm going to rely on your memory, Jeff.
sure.
So we're in shallow water here with me and you putting our heads together. But didn't the map people, the two lawyers are thinking, everybody look out. Didn't the map folks say that they were going to overlay this on more of like a Google Earth kind of map so that we could really see better?
I don't remember being overlaid on a Google Earth. They have done the overlay, and it is posted on the board's website for redistricting.
That's the same map. I looked at it. It's the same map. It's
But-
exactly the same. It's the kind of, it's like the
not more
quasi
detailed.
Google Earth. It's got like freeways and kind of main roads, and you can
That's it.
kind of make out like Big Bear Lake and Lake Arrowhead, but you couldn't tell like exactly which street a line ran down from these maps. Even
this
when I
is-
zoom in on a computer,
This
you
is a
can't tell.
GIS map, is that the difference?
I thought at the last public hearing meeting that the, I'm so bad with names, the lady, what is it?
Kate, right? Kate?
Kate?
The prior person was Liz Stitt.
I thought she said she was gonna put it over the top of like a Google Earth map so that you could really see
She did.
what was under the zones. And Jen says she did, which means she did.
Yeah, so I think that what you saw, my name's Kay, it's nice to meet you all.
Hello.
I think what you
Sorry.
saw and it looks like Google Maps. It doesn't necessarily look like Google Earth. And you can zoom in as close as you want to go, and you can see all of the street names. I can share my screen with you if you'd like to
That
look at
didn't
it.
work last time. That didn't work at all.
We can try.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to.
Sorry, am I being negative? Do you, at the mapping place, have access to the GIS maps that Joe speaks of?
We have access to the shape files, is that what you mean?
I don't know. Joe, what do you mean?
I don't know well, the county takes whatever data that they get, and then they work it through GIS and what that program is. I don't know. So Kate, the map that I have on the wall over here that you can't see was one of the adopted map that we adopted 4 years ago, or whenever we did it last, that I obtained from the county after it had been certified. and I just put it up on my wall in the office as just a big map. And I candidly didn't ever take a look at the district to see that the line was Spring Valley Parkway last time, and it was not the river. When you take a look at the maps that you propose, you can't tell where the river is. I have a feeling I know where it is because I'm in the land business, but, you know, I think for somebody coming in from any of the districts that wants to come to this meeting, they should really be able to say, am I in that district or am I not? And they couldn't, conclusively, you couldn't tell.
Sure. So, are you talking about, just to be clear, are we talking about the boundary between 2 and 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't, the draft plan B, as it is right now, it doesn't necessarily go all the way to Mojave Desert, or I'm sorry, Mojave River. It's on the northeastern corner. The boundary is D Street. And then if I zoom in, it looks like it's going along a railroad. So am I, just to be clear, just some feedback we're getting is that we would like to extend that boundary.
No,
You're looking
I
at the
think
wrong side.
your geography, you're just not familiar, so you're not, the railroad track is going to be on the west side of your map. Can you find Spring Valley Lake and find a street called Riverview that runs along the Mojave River?
Just give me one moment, please.
The Mojave River is probably about 1,000 yards wide. Maybe not that, maybe 500 yards wide.
So are we talking about Riverside Drive?
No, Riverside Drive would be on the east side, yeah. So you see where the river is to the west of that?
Yeah, Riverside Drive would be on the east side of the Mojave River. The line should run either down the center of the Mojave River or the west side of the Mojave River. It looks like it does.
So we would like to see the boundary lines be the Mojave River.
Yes, please.
Okay, wonderful. We will work on getting those up to
Do you have a better map that you could print these overlays on? With streets on it?
So we have our web-based map, which you all have access to.
Yeah, we can't see anything.
And you can really just zoom in and look at the streets and see, you know, exactly where those boundaries are. We don't necessarily have printout versions because, I mean, you could screenshot and print it out and make a really big collage, but we do just have the web options.
Kate, I think we just figured it out.
Did you see how it's loading here, though?
Your
When
base
it's
map,
electronic, but he
your
wants
base map doesn't, it doesn't tie into what we use for, you know, Google Maps or whatever, so you can't even see any streets. When you look at the map up front and you really drill down, it looks like the edge of the river, but you can't see anything on in there. I mean, is there any way that you can make this new map a little bit bigger so that people can really see where Apple Valley is and where Spring Valley Lake is and where the other districts are? Because you moved a couple of lines. Did they move any lines?
So these two that are printed,
Yeah,
we did.
correct.
Right, so we're
we-
just
and
zooming
we said we didn't
in,
want that one, we wanted the
and it's
one.
not got the streets that we need. So zooming in on this doesn't work
Yeah, but when
for what you
zoom- yeah,
want.
When you zoom in on his pad right there, you can see it.
You can kind of
Does
tell.
the public see it?
Right, but I don't think that print out what he's,
No.
it's not gonna,
Well, I can
Translate.
print it, but it's.
I just think for what we're paying, I think it should be a lot clearer.
Yeah, so we do have, I just want to be clear, so we sent staff a like URL web-based maps where you can zoom in and you can see the streets. Did anybody get a chance to see that?
Are those the maps in Dropbox?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
you can see
did,
it just fine.
but what he's talking about is having it printed for the public to see, all of you all to see, because you're very.
Yeah, so one thing that we've seen other districts do is link the web-based maps on their website.
Did we
So
do that?
the public can
We
go
did
and
that.
zoom in there. we just don't necessarily have a printable version,
This is the
just
new
because
age,
it would be really hard to list all of the street names, and it would have to be a really,
They're
really
saying
big
no printing.
piece of paper. So we do have the web-based maps where you can zoom in and scroll around.
But Liz, I'm, you
No,
know,
Kay,
again,
this
Kate,
is not
I'm sorry. You know, I'm not here to argue web-based, non-web-based. I know people my age that they're not going to go to the web. They want to go look at a map.
Actually, Joe, this one does work.
Huh?
This one does work.
And it's
I went to a
missing some of
different
the
one.
people.
Went to a different one on the webpage. You can really get in.
It's missing some people here.
Right, so if you go down, there's Bear Valley. And there's the river. And it's the Christmas tree lot. So it does cut right down. And it's right along the. along the river.
If it's okay, I'm going to share my screen, which has the URL open, and I was able to zoom in and just to kind of show this as a point of reference.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah,
So-
it's not following Yates Road all the way.
You can you can see the Mojave River here.
Yeah.
Between the taupe and the green, and so that seems to be.
That's
where the
clear
map-
that's clear than what we saw in the prior one. You know, Jeff, I just, you know, I worry about the public and somebody saying, you know, I've got a client that it's got to be worth $500 million. He said to me the other day, he says, I don't do email, I don't do fax, I do US mail, and you pick up the phone and call me. So he would never get on the phone, he wouldn't get on here. This is clearer than the other ones that we saw. I just want to be sure if the board says we're not going to print it, then is there any exposure, Jeff, if somebody comes into the meeting and says, I want to be able to see where that line is?
No, I don't see any exposure. The URL, what I'm showing on the share screen here, is on the board's website right now, because this is what I'm accessing. And this is a direct link to that URL site, which does allow you to zoom in, and there's definitely more definition, and you can see the boundaries between the green of District 2 and we'll call it the beige of District 5.
Yeah, this map does work much better. I hit the other link. There's like 4 links that were sent, and one of them is to this map where you really can zoom in. The other links just kind of go to the same version that's up there that's kind of hard to see.
So I was going to say to Liz, is there a way you can?
This is Kay.
I mean,
Kay.
Kate, sorry. Been a long day.
It's okay.
I think I have water on the brain. Can they take that map and make it a little bit bigger so people can just see it on that version?
Which map are you talking about?
The one that we're seeing right here. Just
The
make
one
it-
that's up on the screen?
Yeah.
Kay, can you see what Jeff has shared on the screen?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I guess, like I said before, it would be really difficult to print out this map in a way that you could actually see the street names, just because you really, if, you know, Jeff is really zoomed in right now, so it would be really difficult to kind of show that. I guess the best way you could do that is by screenshotting and printing out what each of the areas look like. But I think that might be just a little, I don't know if that would be really what you would, what
I
you're
would-
looking for.
No.
Kate, I think to save everybody a lot of time and trouble, I would, let's just go with what's on the website, and if somebody files a claim with the college, they do, and we can debate, you know, colors all day long, but I think we figured it out. I don't think your software is what I think is acceptable for what we need to do, but it's what you use in your business, so it's acceptable for your client's use, so I think we should just move on.
And I'd be happy to, if you have a request, like a specific request, we'd be happy to try to figure it out. But I'm just not sure that we'll be able to print out exactly what you're looking for.
No, I think we're fine.
Okay.
I think we're fine.
So Sharon, do you have anything to add? No. No? Dennis?
Are you okay
No?
with losing
Brandon?
these
No.
houses here? These are houses here that aren't in your district. That's at the
Are we
top
good with
of
this
Yates.
discussion ending? No.
Do you see how this is Yates here? This is Yates Road that goes up to Ridgecrest? You're missing those houses. Just so that you can see. Because that's the Yates bike path, and then that goes up to Mojave.
So Brian, if you can, you know where Yates Road is up there?
The one that hooks
Yeah,
down?
that's ultimately be Yuckaloma. Take a look. That's a good call. So where would those people go? Those people would have
It
to,
looks like they're in
Be in
5.
Apple Valley.
In Apple
That would
Valley,
be-
Dennis.
So those
That-
14 houses right there in that area.
but see, Spring Valley Lake is a community of interest, so I would think that,
But did they have to do that for numbers? Kay, can you speak to the top portion, the round portion, which
it's
is
right up there on Yates Road. They're the
It's
homes that abut
dividing
Yates Road.
houses.
Yeah, I see that, and we can add those houses in. It looks like it could have just been human error, and we're happy
There you
to fix that if that's what you'd like to see, to add those houses up to Yates Road out of District 5 into District 2.
Are you fine with that?
Want to give a big shout out to our student president for that, and those people, yeah.
I was too busy looking over by the river and missed that. Good
That's
eye.
great, though.
Good eye.
Okay, thank you, Kay.
job.
Thank you, Jeff.
That'd
Are we
been the
good with
next
this
email.
being
Yeah,
done?
we're good.
Okay.
We beat
You
it
guys
to
are gonna
death.
hear my-
All right, so how quick can you get that fixed?
So just to be clear, just want to make sure that we got all of the input in. Those houses that just got left out of Yates Road, and we want to see those move into District 2.
Correct.
And did we want to see any changes on the Mojave River side of it? Or does that look good to you guys?
Good, right?
To you all?
The riverside looks good to me. I would say just follow that right around that Yates Road, and then it turns into Ridgecrest. Follow it right around that loop.
Perfect, so also pick up that Ridgecrest as well. Wonderful. Well, that's all I need from you. This is great, okay. We'll get that to you as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, good night.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Kay.
you.
Thank you. Good night, Kay. Thank
Good
you.
eye. That'd have been the
Thanks.
next email. That'd have been the next email. I live on Yates Road, and
All right, so 6.1 is board goals. We're going to go ahead and skip that because we've already talked enough today. Just kidding. No, due to multiple presentations, we're going to move along. I'm just joking, sorry.
And
My attempt at humor.
I promised President Tarpley she wouldn't get any emails this year.
You did.
Yeah.
that's never gonna happen. You said it now, but it's never gonna
We've
happen.
gone
On
one
the
meeting
record.
so far, she didn't get an email this week.
On the record. So we're going to go to the superintendent president's report. Is everybody good on the board? Anybody need anything? You're getting coffee? Take it away, John.
Item 7.1, we have a presentation from Forefront Power, Nate Smith-Ide. Is he on Zoom? Yes. Dr. Walden and myself have met with him and some of his colleagues a couple times to talk about the solar, or existing solar on campus, and any potential projects that could be viable on the campus. So Nate's going to give a short presentation. Take it away, Nate.
Great. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Again, my name is Nate Smith-Hyde. John, thanks for the introduction. Really grateful to be here. What we've done is put together an existing savings analysis for the ground mount CPV solar project at the main campus, as well as the 2 carport systems. I know that's been asked for by the board, so pleased to walk you through that. And then we also have an analysis, a brief analysis about a potential additional solar project at the college, at the main campus, as well as a potential battery storage project as well. Forefront Power, that is the company that I represent. We are a solar and storage developer, and we've been working with Dr. Walden and John and Estella from the facilities department and Michelle to kind of put everything together. So again, very, very grateful and thankful to be here. And with that, I'll kick it off, and I'll turn to my my colleague at SPUR, the Joint Powers Authority, Kevin Flanagan, to just get you up to speed on the Joint Powers Authority, SPUR, and the value that they provide to the college.
Hi, good evening. My name is Kevin Flanagan. I work for an organization called SPUR. SPUR is organized as a joint powers authority. So we are a JPA created by school districts and community colleges. And really our mission as a JPA is to act as a buying consortium on behalf of schools and colleges. We were founded in 1989. Today we have over 300 K through 12 and community college districts in our membership. So we're a really big buying consortium. And what we do is we put together aggregated buying programs, leveraging our really big buying power as a JPA to help schools and colleges reduce utility costs. So we have buying programs for things like natural gas and LED lights and telecom services. I am the lead program manager for SPUR's buying program that focuses on solar and energy storage. And the name of that program is the Renewable Energy Aggregated Procurement Program, or REAP program. And the REAP program is a lot like our other buying programs. What we're trying to do is save time, help community colleges and school districts save time. So we ran a competitive process for solar and storage. By piggybacking the competitive process that we conducted, the college can save a lot of time and really streamline your procurement process and really, in a lot of ways, be more nimble. And that's important because it means that you can realize savings sooner for a project, but it also means that, you know, you could take advantage of incentives and programs before they go away. So saving time can be really important. Number two, we're obviously trying to save you money, and by doing that, we're trying to drive down project pricing, leveraging our really big buying power in the marketplace. And then thirdly, we're trying to reduce risk. So myself and my team, we've been providing renewable energy consulting services for a long time. We know this industry well. You know, we negotiated a contract that you can take advantage of that has really favorable terms and conditions that ultimately reduce risk for the college on the project. So in short, what we did as a JPA is we ran a statewide request for proposals process. It was a highly competitive process. All the major vendors that really kind of do this type of work for community colleges that have DSA experience participated in the competitive process. Ultimately, we selected the company that Nate works for, Forefront Power, as the winning vendor of the RFP. And then we, SPUR, entered into a master contract with them. And that's really what the college, the district can piggyback off of. The REAP program itself has been piggybacked by over 50 public agencies across the state, including over a dozen community college districts. The REAP program has been endorsed by the Community College League of California as a viable competitive process and procurement vehicle. And we're really proud of you know, the success of the program. And you know, if the college decides that solar is a good idea or more solar is a good idea, what the REAP program offers you is really just a piggybackable procurement vehicle to help you get a really good contract in place with great pricing and feel good about, you know, the procurement process. So with that, I'll hand it back over to Nate unless there's any questions.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Quick obligatory commercial about Forefront Power. So we are a nationwide solar and storage developer, and we're the backbone of our business is in the California public sector. No one is doing more work with community colleges specifically than us. We are extremely experienced and well versed in DSA, so that expertise is critical when you think about reducing project delays and really executing on projects. And we're backed by a very strong, stable parent company in Mitsui & Co. I understand that, you know, there's some heartache from the last CPV ground mount system. I understand that company went bankrupt, you know, full disclosure. And what Mitsui offers to the community college district is really the assurance that Forefront Power is going to be around for the long haul throughout the, you know, the term of the contract. getting into the stuff that everyone wants to know now, the existing solar analysis. So the main takeaway from this analysis is that we estimate using solar production data that has been provided to us by the college, as well as bill data, we estimate that since the CPV ground mount system was installed in 2010, that the college has actually saved, just at the main campus, upwards of $7.9 million, which is a really good story to tell. Some of the main takeaways that we have here, and I can annotate on my screen, are really the fact that the CPV system, just digging into the table here, the CPV system started to decrease more dramatically than we would expect a project to decrease in terms of annual production, specifically in 2012 to 2013, where I'm drawing my arrow right there. And then that decline continued across, until today. There is a uptick in 2014 to 2015 here. That has to do with the installation of the carport system that is just adjacent to the charter school to the west of the campus. That carport system, you can see, is injecting about 700,000 kilowatt hours on an annual basis to that 2014 to 2015 year. And then even with the carports generating what they should be, the CPV system continued to decline in generation. You can see there. What we have in 2020 is, of course, a COVID year. So you can see, although the project, the project with the injection of the restored portion of the CPV system in 2019 to 2020, you can see that the overall offset was increased, which is great. So those are the kind of nuances and headlines here. One thing I also wanted to call out are rising SCE bills. So you can see just in this year, 2018 to 2019, where I'm circling right now or rectangling right now, you can see about a $60,000 increase for essentially the same amount of kilowatt hours consumed in those 2 years, which is about a 6% increase. That trend obviously dropped slightly in this year, 2020. That's because you actually consumed less that year. It's not because your SCE bills went down. And that highlights this trend, which I have on the next slide, that the SCE bill data is going to continue to increase. I have a screenshot from a recent SCE brief that has proposed the 2022 rates from 2021 escalating at about 12%. So as SCE rates increase, the CPV system, even operating at, essentially 50% capacity of what it was in year one, as well as the carport system, is going to continue to save the college money, because as those SCE bills increase, your avoided cost or your savings increase as well. That is that's kind of the main broad strokes of the savings analysis. Does anyone have any questions, comments that I can answer at this point?
I do, and maybe John could.
Yep.
John, as I remember back in December, January, February, March, I hate to do this to you. We didn't know did we not know what we were spending back in 2010, 11, 12 on our Edison bill, because we had no way of going back in the records? So that's correct, right? Okay, so I'm asking the consultant, how did you come up with these numbers if the college couldn't come up with the numbers?
Mm-hmm. So we were actually sent those numbers for at least for 13, 14, 15, and then we can extrapolate based on other districts, what they've been paying SCE, what you're paying, what that post-solar SCE bill is.
Okay, so that's why you say an estimate then. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to caveat the whole thing with that it is estimated, right? So we don't know exactly what the carports are producing. In some years, we have some holes in the data what the CPV system is producing. So yeah, that's a really good point. This is an estimate completely.
Because what the dialogue back during those 3 months, it got a little, I think, challenging amongst all of us, was us not really knowing, you know, an estimate's an estimate. So are we going to be able to get our arms around this in the future to really have a finite understanding of what we're saving per year?
Yeah, so you know what, it's going back that historically for SCE is extremely difficult, and I actually worked with the college's SCE rep to try to dig up that information. It's really difficult to unearth, you know, those early years of data. Really, SCE goes back about eight years in terms of triangulating exactly what you're paying. So I think for those, 2010, 2011, 2012 years, the college might be left with estimates. Unless we can unearth some of the older invoices from SCE to really understand exactly what we were paying for once that CPV system did.
No, I get it. I didn't want to bring up a bad topic, but I did want to clarify where some of the, I think some of the challenging conversation. If you go to 17, if you go to year 2017, we're at 928 on the post-solar SCE bill.
Yep.
And it jumps up to $1.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
So it jumps up, what, 70 some odd thousand. The savings though, in the next corner only drops $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
Yeah, so what
and then it goes up 60, it goes up 58,000, and the savings only goes by 15.
Yeah, so it doesn't operate linearly. So as the SCE, as your post bill, as your post solar SCE increases, it's really the way that we're coming up with savings is by taking, and I should have prefaced with this from the get-go, is we're taking this estimated pre-solar SCE bill, and then we're subtracting it from that post-solar SCE bill, which we know. The estimated pre-solar SCE bill, we don't know, because what we're doing is we're prospecting a universe in which the college never actually installed any solar projects. So that's how we're calculating that estimated solar savings column in the last column there.
But we asked for the bills to be tracked from now on, so we already have our arms around it, right?
Well, I think he said that they, didn't you say that SCE could go back 8 years, but that some of the numbers that you had even for 2017 and 18 are estimates?
Yes, that has to do specifically with the estimated solar production data.
Yeah.
See, what I think, I just can't get my arms around. You know, Edison, I'm not a big believer in Edison. I'm stuck with it like a lot of people are. But how we couldn't figure out, how we couldn't add up with those meters now. Now, I know that we have, there are, 6 meters out here that we don't, up until now, follow. I think Dr. Walden recently said to me, we're going to get another presentation on how to do this. So I think, John, we're making progress. That's the bottom line.
We have to get the equipment in place
To really
to track the data.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. It's a specific type of meter called a smart meter, which reads everything as well as your solar production.
I just kind of wish we had this information back in December, January, February when we had this fight that I just don't think we needed
Yeah,
that.
but these are guesses.
Well, yeah, and they're guessing. Yeah.
So I
think the other problem is that the solar panels are down there cooking away making power, but you never know how much power they're making because they didn't have the monitoring equipment on them to say how much they're making, which I think when we put in that system, I don't think that was technology that was maybe available, or maybe it was just cost prohibitive, or I don't know what the deal was. I mean, now it's commonplace. I can go on my phone right now and tell you exactly how many kilowatts my solar on my house made today, or for the week, or for the month, or the year. It's right there. They just put a little clip on the power line and it tracks everything.
I've been trying to get an extension cord to your house, but it won't fit.
I'm making like twice as much as what I need. Yeah, it's your systems that you're installing They
Yep.
have essentially monitors to be able to see at all times exactly what they're making. Isn't that correct?
Yes, exactly correct. The technology, I mean, the college was an early mover, right? 2010 is early for the solar industry, especially with that CPV technology. And yeah, exactly. The metering then is not what the metering is now in terms of monitoring what's being produced. And that's on a 15-minute interval basis. That's not only on an annual or monthly basis. All of the new metering information allows you to get, up to a day-to-day update on what's actually being produced.
By chance, are you the company that was referred by Randy Terrell?
Yes, that is correct.
There's still more pages of his presentation though, so we can.
Yeah, no, and I can buzz through those. I want to be cognizant of everyone's time. So please feel free. I can provide my email afterwards. I'd love to have a continued discussion about the existing solar savings analysis to figure out if we can refine it in any way, and I can continue to work with the college to do that. But if anyone has any questions, please shoot me an email, and I can talk you through the specifics.
Well, I think that we need to go through John or Dr. Walden. I'd suggest that before I would ever vote for anything, I'd like to see this and, get it a couple days before so I can actually take a look at it in print.
Yeah, this is just a presentation.
Absolutely. Hear you loud and clear. So I wanted to get into the proposed solar project. The CPV system was purchased outright by using cash or bond dollars. The method of procurement that we've been talking about with Dr. Walden and John is called a power purchase agreement, or a PPA. So under that agreement, the big item is that there's no upfront cost to the college, no use of bond funds. Forefront Power, we finance the project, we build it, we operate it, we maintain it. The college then simply buys the energy being produced by the system, and it really mitigates what you experience with the CPV project, which is the operations and maintenance piece. So the only way that Forefront Power makes its money back under a PPA or a power purchase agreement is by the college buying that energy. So thus we're incentivized to make sure that the project as proposed is producing exactly what it should be, on a day-to-day basis, because that affects our bottom line. So it really is an aligned partnership in that way. And then we also, Forefront Power takes advantage of a 26% tax credit that you as homeowners could actually take advantage of as well if you were to install solar at your homes. The college would leave that coupon on the table, if you were to finance that out of pocket. So that's the main, incentivation tool that we use to, to make sure that the PPA rate is as low as humanly possible for the college. So that is the basic of the PPA. And I know that I'm a little bit time constrained, so I'm going to continue moving on. We can get questions at the end. The estimated solar plus storage project that we've been working on with John and Dr. Walden is a solar project of about 1.5 megawatts, and then a storage project of about 1 megawatt. This is in kilowatts here. That's offsetting the current load that's after the CPV, re-energization, and the carports. That's offsetting an additional 56% of your current load and saving, based on what you're currently paying SCE, and that's in 2021, that $865,000, approximately 16% in year one, and about 5.2 million across the course of 20 years. The devil's in the details with that 20-year savings number, and I've highlighted down here that we've employed 2.7% for energy and 5% for demand for calculating that 20-year savings number. Again, that's conservative based on what we just saw with SCE proposing a 12% increase between 2021 and 2022. The proposed system looks a little bit like this. These are rectangles on a page. These can absolutely change. And this is, what we're looking at now is utilizing that great parking lot next to the soccer fields. And then the battery storage project would be about the footprint of a parking space, and we'd want to co-locate it with this proposed solar project. Battery storage does two things. It shaves your demand peaks, and it also performs energy arbitrage, i.e. buy low, sell high with your energy usage. So when SCE charges you, at peak hours, discharging energy that the battery builds up and then absorbing energy during off-peak hours. It does not function as a backup power source. The main update and kind of the impetus to get in front of you all tonight is net energy metering is changing. Net energy metering is essentially anything that the college does not consume, it sends back to the grid, and SCE compensates that exported energy for essentially the full retail rate. That's the current net energy metering framework. What's happening is that net energy metering framework is changing, and we just received a brief today. That program is set to change in January or February of next year. And what is going to happen to that program is that the payment for the exported solar generation is going to dramatically be reduced. That means that the savings that were once generated via net energy metering, this more lucrative program, is going to significantly decline. So what we've been talking through with John and Dr. Walden is this: we have a net energy metering program that's going to change. We have a potential to save millions of dollars with an additional solar and storage project under existing rules, which can be captured simply by submitting interconnection applications to SCE. We don't need to build a project. We don't need to sign a contract for a project. We simply need to submit interconnection applications, and that allows us to secure existing net energy metering rules for 20 years, which is great. So any future solar project, if that's going to happen, we really need this net energy metering 2.0 rule structure. The way that we can submit the interconnection application for the college is by executing a letter of intent. And what that letter of intent says is, in exchange for Forefront Power to spend the time and money to submit this interconnection application, the college agrees to, in a good faith agreement, try to negotiate a final project and contracts with Forefront for the preceding year. So what that does is it essentially allows the college to make sure that they have a project that secures these more favorable net energy metering rules without actually having, finalize that project design or sign a contract. So that's the rationale behind the letter of intent. And that is the meat and potatoes of the presentation. And with that, I will dismount and open it up for questions.
I actually had something that I wanted to just point out when you proposed on slide 9, so the proposed new area.
Yep.
My only recommendation would be that power supply thing is right in front of our Veterans Resource Center, and I don't necessarily think that's the wisest place to put it.
Totally
if there was
understood.
any way to move it maybe in the back so that, that area is free.
It can absolutely move around, and the system as designed can absolutely move around, and that all happens through continued design and engineering. What we're really trying to do is present something to SCE in terms of system size. We have a general system size based on the availability of space, and then we can really reorganize these rectangles, again, rectangles on a page at this point, as we proceed through design and engineering.
Okay.
So totally hear you, and that can absolutely change.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Is it Nate or Kevin?
It's Nate. Yep.
Nate, stupid question. So I see
No
the
stupid
savings, I see the savings 20 years out.
Yep.
And we can move numbers around all day long to figure out how we do that. How much is this going to cost VVC cash out of its pocket to save $5 million?
Great question. So the only out-of-pocket expense is the inspector of record fee and the lab of record fee. That has to be that VVC is contractually or is legally obligated to pay to inspect our project. So Forefront Power can't pay an inspector of record to inspect our own project, Fox and the Hen House. VVC has to spend that money out of pocket. What we can do is we can reimburse the college for that expense if you'd like, and we do that through the power purchase agreement rate. So it would increase marginally. That is the only out-of-pocket expense that happens through a PPA.
And
The
how much
20-year
is it?
savings.
How
Go
much
for it,
is that?
Sorry. I estimate on a project of this size, probably around $50,000.
So during that 20-year period of time, VVC is not going to have to come out of the pocket for 1 penny for anything on this?
That's correct.
Okay. Is there a way, John, we can get a copy of this just sent to us, so?
It's there.
Well, no, but I mean, I'd like to print it out.
Hey, you got
Have
it.
it.
Yeah,
It's already there.
No, but I'd like to look at it in my office when I
You
can.
can.
Yeah.
It's there.
I just never go online. I don't. They can send it to me.
You want a printed one sent to you?
Yeah, just
making
Michelle
sure.
could just send it,
Clarifying
yeah.
question.
Okay, so I just want to be 100% clear about this. I think I've got it, but for the dumb guy in the room,
No dumb questions.
there's no such thing as a stupid question, only stupid people. That's what I was told anyway.
With it.
That's probably from the military.
I was a little offended.
Like, half the audience is like, that's right. The other half is like, oh, that's appalling. What we pay you is not based upon proposed generation or expected generation or what the generation should be. What we pay you is for actual generation. Is that correct?
You only pay for what the project generates, which is the beauty of the PPA relative to buying a system and then hoping it produces what it's supposed to.
Right, so if in 1 month somebody crashes into the box out there and the cable breaks and the system makes 0 power for a month, at the end of that month, we don't pay you anything.
Correct.
And I would add too, just to that, not only is that a great incentive for Forefront to keep the system operational, but if the system isn't operational and it's their fault, so it's not just some car coming down the street hitting the box like you said, but they're not maintaining the panels, there's actually a performance guarantee built into the contract as well. So they actually have to make you whole if the system's not performing the way it's supposed to be performing. Because now, when the system isn't performing, you're having to buy more expensive power from Edison, which is costing you, the college, more money. So they have to make up the difference between the two. And that's all in the contract.
Nate, kind of a stupid question. I think most of us as consumers know that our bills are going up between, 4 and 9 o'clock at night. As I remember, wasn't it 2 years ago we were trying to off our excess power off the grid to Nevada and Arizona as excess? We had excess power. Did I read the wrong story?
Are you talking about like the California Public, the Utilities Commission trying to offset power? I can't answer that question adequately. I'm sorry. I don't know. Kevin might have more information on that.
I mean, if you're kind of talking about California as a marketplace as a whole.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious.
Yeah, I mean, some years we're importing power from the Western region. Sometimes we're exporting power to the Western region. It really just depends on supply and demand and, what's going on in the marketplace.
And what you're referring to in 2017, the time of use rates changed, right? So instead of your peak power or your peak power in terms of your charges changed from noon to 8 to 4 to 9.
When everybody's off work doing their laundry.
Yep.
So when you come home and you turn your lights on.
Yep. All right, any questions on this end?
Page 5, you said you got 400 years of experience or something?
Yeah, Mitsui has if you can believe it, has been around for 400 years.
400 years of leadership. How'd you get 400 years?
Mitsui has been, it's an old family business from Japan, and they have been around for 400 years.
Okay. I just wondered.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
The big
So
ticket
these are
item coming out of this is really net energy metering. It's changing dramatically, and what I show in this slide is indicative of what every other solar customer is experiencing. It's like NEM 2.0, the existing legislation is really favorable. Look, you can save $5 million maybe across 20 years. NEM 3.0, and the brief came out today, looks really bad, and it's because they're not going to, SE is not going to pay solar customers, also residential solar customers, if you're not grandfathered under this existing NEM rule for, you know, for that exported energy, for that exported generation. Instead of getting the retail rate at like 20, 25 cents, you're looking at, you know, 5 to 10 cents. So you can see that completely craters economics.
But you can be grandfathered into the other plan, the old plan?
Exactly. You can be grandfathered in as long as you submit interconnection applications. So it's upon, and this is in the brief as well, the date that you submit that interconnection application, you get 20 years of existing NEM 2.0 rules, which is great. We just have to submit interconnection applications.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Appreciate the time, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we're going to move on to 7.2 ASB goals. Yeah.
At this current time, I think everybody's really been focusing on finals. So I had 2 of them today. I know that I'm still working with Kevin and Ralph from Maintenance and Operations about the environmental awareness goal. So we're still trying to figure out about planting trees and doing a campus cleanup, but that's all I really have for ASB goals.
And how did Lights of Love go?
That's later.
Didn't it? Oh, sorry.
I have
never mind.
another
Never
one
mind. Never
later.
mind. I didn't say anything.
That's just, you wanted goals. I was just telling you.
Okay, goals. Sorry. I know, but I was excited. So I love.
I got an
kids.
update for that too.
Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to.
Okay, facilities update. I guess it's JPA night. Brent Chavez from Keenan Associates, he's Assistant Vice President, wants to talk about the statewide educational wrap-up program, which is an owner-controlled construction insurance program that, since we're getting ready to start on our bid documents for the stadium event center, this is one of the options that we would like to look at. And later in the agenda, we're asking for a resolution to join SOUP, and then that would allow us to talk to them about potentially including this program in our bid documents. So is Brent Chavez there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Thanks, Brent.
No problem. All right, is it okay to share my screen?
You bet.
Right. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Perfect. So as John mentioned, my name is Brent Chavez with Keenan and Associates. I'm the account executive that partners with the district in providing the workers' comp insurance, or workers' comp property and liability coverage. Tonight I am here to talk about the construction insurance. So the statewide educational wrap-up program, or also known as SOUP, as John mentioned, is an owner-controlled insurance program, JPA. SOUP began back in 1999 when favorable legislation allowed California public schools and community colleges to participate in an OSIP. There is no cost to the district to become a member of the JPA. The only time there is a cost due is when enrolling a project. So I've condensed a fairly large presentation down to basically this slide. So trying to just gather all the information and give you what you need to know and let you guys get back on with your night. So most notable difference is the insurance procurement is a much broader and bundled coverage, eliminating fault allegations, which is a big issue when each contractor is providing their own insurance. And then if there is any type of loss, now you got a bunch of contractors, attorneys, insurance companies pointing fingers at the other ones to figure out who caused the loss to cover that claim under them. Construction defects, there is a 10-year completed operations coverage under SOAP instead of 2 years. General liability and excess casualty offers $125 million per occurrence for liability limits versus traditional $2 to about $5 million in limits. The your work exclusion. So there is the your work exclusion is removed from the SOAP coverage, and that is so insurance covers the resulting damage by removing the your work exclusion. This provides coverage to fix the cause of loss. The typical insurance coverages, any work that the contractor does is excluded in coverage. Just the resulting damage is usually covered. Contractors pollution, there is $15 million in coverage, which is typically not included in any type of contractor's insurance. And then with the claims, there is a dedicated claims analyst to respond immediately to fix damages instead of any type of infighting within the contractors. And that is deemed to have a much quicker result in fixing any issues and getting the project back on course than having to go through attorneys and again having to deal with insurance carriers. As we know, they'd spend, I've heard the saying that they'll spend $10,000 to deny a claim instead of just covering it for $1,000. So loss control consultants, they are there to do safety walks and providing the safety tailgate topics, also ensuring all regulations are being followed on the projects. And then you will have a dedicated administration team that removes all administrative burden from the district, such as qualifying the bidders with loss experiences, collecting certificates of insurance, and full support throughout the construction process. Are there any questions specifically on this slide? Okay, I'll move on. The last thing to kind of say that SOAP likes to talk about is the ultimate responsibility is for a successful project is on the district. So why leave it up to the contractors to make sure that you have the right insurance? And that concludes my quick and easy presentation. Hopefully that was quick and was able to give a good broad overview of what the program entails. Are there any questions?
Doesn't look like it. They're all shaking their heads no.
All right.
Thank you, Brent.
No problem. I'll stop sharing.
I guess, John, just out of curiosity, do you have an idea what it would cost if we put that building in? Or new one?
Well,
I know we don't have final cost yet.
yeah, no, we're looking at 25 million, we think, 25 to 30. This program, so the coverage would be about 800,000 on a $25 million.
Yeah.
I think it's 3.55% or something.
3.44.
3.44%.
And that is not including builder's risk, because builder's risk is pulled out because that has a dedicated coverage.
Right. I think one of the attractive things of this program is the 10-year defects insurance, because we just
Fix the
one,
floor?
yeah, the one stop, it's 2 years old and we got a couple of leaks, and, then you're arguing with a contractor about the warranty. So that's really an attractive part of this program.
Yeah, but if you're arguing with a contractor with a good attorney, I don't think.
Well, yeah. So.
Unless you're outside the warranty period.
That's how you negotiate. I mean, when you spend that kind of money, you should get better than 2 years.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we have construction management people, we have design people. I mean, when you have issues like that, there's something wrong within our system.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Thank you very much, Brent.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later. Okay, 7.4 is the foundation. I see Shannon is here.
So, all right, so here we are, audit time for the foundation. I think this is my at least my sixth time doing this. So anyway, Tim, you want to go ahead and put up our PowerPoint? Excuse me. A few years ago, the auditors started putting everything into these nice little concise PowerPoint so that we didn't have to go through the whole audit. I miss doing that just as you guys do, but we will do the PowerPoint. So, anyway, let's go ahead and go to the next page.
Right, here on line
Come
573.
on, this is good stuff. This is fun stuff. All right, why we have an audit? Okay. Sometimes you're required to, by state and federal guidelines. The big reason we have an audit is because when we do all of the grants and everything that we do each year, that is always required. They want an audited financials to submit for those grants. We're not required to, but we do simply because of that. Let's move on to our assets. Always remember, this is a point in time when we close out the books. Our fiscal year ends on June 30. And so this is, all of these numbers are through June 30 and what was going on at the end of that month. So you can see our cash, our investments, property and equipment, pledges receivable, and our accrued assets. Next slide, please. Again, when you go on to the next page, you see what we owe. That's our liabilities at that point in time. Our accounts payable was basically just the bills, on the books as of 6/30. And then obviously we're coming off of scholarships, and those were just some scholarships that had not been dispersed yet. Next slide. This breaks down our, basically what's on our books again. It breaks it into the different areas that they're required to audit. It gives you our perpetual and nature. Used to have restricted and unrestricted. They've kind of changed up those titles a little bit, so that shows you what are in each of those categories. Revenue, how we made our money, that's the next slide. You can see that we are very high donation, and you will see when I get to a few key points in the audit that I'll point out when I get done with this. In-kind donations, event revenue, memberships and dues, and our investment returns. We've done very well in our investments. Next slide, please. We've got our expenses. That means how we spent our money. When you go through there, it's in kinds. When you look at, lots of times we'll get a question on rent and utilities, and people are going, what is that? That's our pass-throughs for all our SCLA, the training center and everything. So that is those rents that go through that area. The foundation is a big pass-through entity for the college. Next slide, please. This is our statement of functional expenses. If you look at our tax return on page 15, this is a number that we point out every year. 88 cents out of every dollar goes to our students. So every dollar that we make, 88 cents is. And that's a very high number. They're always very pleased with us every year. The rest of it's broken out into managerial and general fundraising. Our managerial, that was one question too. All of that is our software, okay? Our Blackbaud and our data, our financial, professional fees, things like that. Next slide, please. Our Form 990. If you want to get into your tax return, Kirsten's going to be passing this out so that, if you guys cannot sleep tonight, please pull these out and start going through them. You may not be as excited about it as Glennis and I get. But anyway, on page 15, if you wanted to look at that, that is actually transfers into our tax return. Shows that 88 cents, okay, page 15. And then that's on our Schedule A. If you went to Schedule B, that would show our contributors. And then also, if you wanted to kind of know what Schedule D was about, that's our reconciliation to the audit. So sometimes we'll get the question like, why does your audit not match up with your tax return? Well, this is where it pulls it all together. Through the IRS, they're required to report things in a little different form than the auditors are. But then they do reconcile it within the tax return, and that's where that all happens on Schedule D. If you want to, next slide. Like I said, Kirsten is going to go ahead and pass out the audit and the tax return that you guys are more than happy to go through. It'll also be on our website. All of our audited financials and our tax returns are on there. Just some key things. As I mentioned, 88 cents out of every dollar goes to the college, okay? When you look at an audit, I mean, I look at one page when I open up an audit. When Glennis sends us over, I open it, I look at the first page, I look at the bottom paragraph. It says we're all clear, good to go, no problems, no issues. The other thing I always turn back to real quick is the notes, the very last page, and that's note 10. And I'd like to point out that like I said, a lot of things that we do for the college never hit our books. Grants and different things, depending on whether it's federal, state, however we're doing that year, whichever way we're heading, goes to the college, but it does not hit the foundation, but we do and obtain that money on behalf of the college. What I'd like to point out is we sent $3,050,000 in 2021, the year ending 2021. That was an increase over 2020 of $1,013,636. So Foundation's still doing lots and lots of good stuff. One final note, when you get to section 12.1 on the agenda tonight, the Foundation is sending over $622,000 for the college to accept tonight. Anyway, any questions? See Glennis, not me. No, you can always ask me. She's watching this right now. She's going, oh, Shannon. But other than that, another successful year, and it's all due to our donors and our staff and all of you here in the room. Anything else? All right. Congratulations, President Tarpley.
Oh, thank you.
All right, good night.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Dr. Todd Scott. Give us an update on his implementing the educational master plan through the Office of Instruction.
Tim, my man. Thank you, everyone. He's finding my PowerPoint. My PowerPoint is going to be as pretty as Yogesh's from last month. It was a hard act to follow, but I'm not as technically savvy as, I guess if I was, I'd be in IT and not VP of Instruction. So anyway, for my EMP, I'm going to focus on 4 key priority areas. If you look at the specific strategies, I have I'm responsible for like half the entire EMP. So, as I prioritize and execute. So, but I'm going to keep it at a little bit of a higher level. So, these are the 4 key priorities that make up part of the education master plan, and these 4 that I'm going to focus on tonight as to what has been done so far. Jim? So in regard to retention, persistence, completion, post-completion success, and highlighting these, we're starting to pilot the auto awarding of certificates and degrees. I think when AVP Lopez does his presentation, we'll have some more specifics in regard to that. But what has become clear is we have not been awarding certificates and degrees to students who have earned them. And we were doing it, our awarding has been at a pretty low rate because we make students jump through hoops to get a certificate or degree. Find the piece of paper on our website, go fill it out, first make sure that, you know, you've had all the classes, find a piece of paper, go fill it out, have it signed by a bunch of people, submit it again, and then we'll award your certificate.
And pay a fee.
Yeah, and this is going to change all that. So this is auto. We will run it several times a year. It scans. It says, oh, student A has earned that certificate. Prints it out, ships it to them, posts it on their transcript, which is really the way that it should happen. And that applies to degrees as well. The other thing that is in mid operation is our reverse transfer agreement with CSU San Bernardino. They were very happy to assist us with this. They say once our process gets done, they're going to replicate this process with all of the other community colleges that they serve. And this is basically if a student leaves here, as a transfer student leaves here and they're 90% done with their degree, we're going to be able to track what classes they took at San Bernardino, and if we can match them up to articulate those to our courses, we will award them an associate degree, and they might be a junior or senior at CSU San Bernardino. So we got the MOU done. That was done a while back, a few months ago, and we're working on the processes now. So another thing involved in this, part of the EMP is revising our definition of an academic program, and I want to thank Julia Wendt and Regina Pierce-Brown and the Senate Instructional Program Review Committee and Jan Espinoza for putting all of this together. They searched far and wide in other colleges. How you define a program is not as easy as it seems. One of the things we mentioned in our ACCJC midterm report is we were going to have instructional and non-instructional program reviews happen in one fall swoop, done at the same time, reviewed by the same committee. And we are doing that in developing this program review handbook, which should be done in spring of next year. Another goal was an early alert system. Basically, if a student's fallen behind, a faculty member realizes they're absent or they're missing assignments, they submit this early alert to a counselor, to counselors or student services, and then they're supposed to contact the student and say, hey, what's going on? What can we help you with? Whatever. That has not been as effective as it should be, and one of the deans sitting behind the screens way back in the back of the room, I've assigned that goal, so she is going to take care of that for us and get faculty, really get faculty involved in that. The other thing is really, I'm really excited about, re-engaging students. One of the things that Chris Piercy, Michael Edwards, Ken Wolpin, and I came up with was right now we're focusing on winter enrollment, winter 22 enrollment. And we wanted to get a list of students who were enrolled in fall but hadn't taken a winter class, or were one class away or two classes away from a certificate or a degree. And then we were going to use the Connect to Success Center to call them and say, hey, you ought to consider taking a class in winter. It looks like you need an English 101, and guess what? We have an English 101 class for you, and we will enroll you right now. I'm going to send you over to our ambassador, and we're going to enroll you. And that is going to happen starting tomorrow. That is going to take place. The Connect to Success Center is ready, and they're good to go. We got the list of students, and that will help not only engagement, but it's going to help enrollment. And right after the first of the year, we're going to hit spring really hard with that. One of the things that's interesting is I called the colleges a few times to check on something and hung up really quick. And about an hour or so later, I got a call back from the Connect to Success Center. They said, oh, I saw you called us and hung up. Is there something we can help you with? Is there something that you wanted to contact us about? So that is super cool, and that thing is going to be really helpful for
students.
That's
And
good.
I
That's
think,
good.
Dr. Eggleston will be following up with that on her report.
That's some good customer service there.
The next area is strategic and efficient enrollment growth. We have a strategic enrollment management committee. We have the operating agreement approved by college council. The dean I had assigned to co-chair that is retiring, so I will probably take that over myself come spring 2022. And one of them is basically be more efficient with our facilities, in our rooms, and our chairs, and the chairs and tables actually inside the room. And this summer we heard about, oh, there's not enough rooms that hold 40 students on campus. We can't find any rooms that do that. Believe it or not, we don't have a system that tells us that this room has this many chairs, it has a projector, it has a screen, it has a smart, we don't have that. At least it's not available to instruction.
That's crazy.
But this is what this school dude is going, that last one there, the school dude is going to help us with. We're going to go around and have staff go around this summer, and we're going to log every single room so we know how many seats or how many students that holds, and we're going to be efficient about how we're going to schedule courses in those rooms.
Nice.
And I just want to mention, we actually had to do that, Anne Marie and Reba and I walked around this summer when we first heard about there's not enough rooms with 40 seats in it. We spent about 2 hours, walked through 2 buildings. Every single classroom we went in, counted the seats, counted the tables, and said, hey, this has got 40. We found out a lot of classrooms have more than 40 than they initially thought. Trustee Brady.
Dr. Todd, I'm almost sure 5 years ago, Steve Garcia, I think you were on the board, Trustee Wood, gave a report on exactly what you're talking about.
Hey, I have
I mean, because we were
some
talking
recollection.
about, like, total square footage, and he was talking about how many people would fit each classroom, and it had to do, I think it was the one-stop building.
And that, John, is that Fusion?
That's probably our space inventory program.
Yeah.
It's not readily available to the people who schedule classrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, he said to you said to instruction.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do have, I don't know how, I think it's more square footage based, right? So,
It's the capacity of the room, not the number of seats.
yeah, there you go. Tim, please. The next one, of course, distance and digital learning. One of the big programs that we're working on, initiatives that we're working on right now, is moving to an 8-week schedule. So we have a 16-week term right now, but we are exploring the idea of splitting that or fitting 2 8-week schedules in that 16-week semester. There's a lot of evidence surrounding the 8-week courses, how much more students and faculty, their success rates, all across the nation. But we're going to take our time on that. We have 6 groups right now that are working on that. Some of the operations, the logistics of it, how we're going to market that, how we're going to get some more feedback from those groups. So we're going to get an update on that progress tomorrow of those 6 groups. So we want to take our time. There's a lot of resistance. There's a lot of unknowns about it, right? A lot of people are, we're going to overwhelm students. They're going to be studying too much. They're going to take too many courses. But we're just going to take our time and make sure that we do this right and negotiate with the proper unions that we need to discuss with and the academic senate. So we don't want to rush into it. We want to make sure that we do this correctly. So that is well in progress. Tim?
Dr. Todd,
Yeah.
what's the name of the college down in Texas?
Odessa.
That they won the Aspen?
Yes.
Didn't they go to the 8-week?
Yes.
Very successful, and they went from like
Barstow does it too.
the 500th college up to the number 1. And one of the deals that they did was this.
Yeah, and that was one of their initiatives, right? And so they had that. There was quite a few initiatives that they utilize to engage students and keep them there and keep them on the track. And I think, I just saw, I followed the president there, I think they're on their like 10th or 11th year of enrollment growth.
There was an article in one of the national magazines, I think that Dr. Walden just sent out to us.
Right.
I did get a call from somebody here that's a faculty member, and they said, I'm so upset, I think I'm gonna retire. I guess we'll retire.
About the mini-mister?
Yeah, about, yeah, didn't like.
And it's not for every single program, so like Odessa, I think they're like 75% on 8 week. So there are some programs that we're just not gonna be able, like fire academy, police academies, probably nursing. They're so heavy. In a 16-week, breaking them up into 8 weeks really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But that's why we're gonna take our time and figure this out and get that done as soon as we can.
I feel like it's not, I read the same article that Dan sent. There was two things that stood out to me. One, the 8-week semester, and the mini-mester. And there was one other in that article that I've now forgotten, but I have it in my response to Dan. But this 8-week thing, that's not like new territory. I mean, it is for VVC perhaps, but it's not new territory. Pretty much all of the for-profit schools out there, that's what they're doing, right? They do now they call it accelerated, right? Oh, we do an accelerated program. We do 6-week. I think University of Phoenix runs a 5-week semester, right? A lot of them do 6. I think 8 is probably the most common, but they sell that, they market that as an accelerated semester. So there's two sides to that coin. If you take 4 classes, then you're like double full time. So you can complete in half the time, give or take, maybe 1 8-week term. But if you want to just be a full-time student, then you only have to take 2 classes. So I think the issue that comes with the pushback of people saying, oh, I feel like students are going to be overwhelmed, is you say, okay, what's more overwhelming, 4 subjects spread out over 16 weeks or 2 subjects over 8 weeks? I mean, then you can focus more on those 2 subjects for a shorter amount of time and move on. I don't see any problem with it. I did at least one of my degrees on that, probably 2. I think the 2 master's degrees that I have were on accelerated semesters, the 8-week semesters. I think it's a lot more comfortable. One, because people are motivated by obtaining a goal, right? If you set out to complete something and you finish and you look back and you go, wow, that went by quick, that's a good way to get first-time students to go again. Right? You know, they come, they're intimidated, college and the big deal, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's over, and they go, whoa, well, I made it, I passed. That was a whole semester. Oh, okay, I could do that again, right? It's the old adage, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, you know, nice little bites. And I think it helps people pick up speed. I think it's a great idea. I'm all for it.
You know, I think one of the Todd, we're here to educate people, but we're here to prepare them for reality. Okay? Reality is that I might have to have a 13-hour day tomorrow, and I really would rather have a 7-hour.
That's it.
And I think if we say to people, we're trying to prepare you for reality, I don't think there's anything wrong.
Right.
Well, and just since we're all adding into your presentation, I'm just going to give my 2 cents as well.
Well, you're president.
I attended and graduated from Barstow Community College, our neighbors, and they give you the option to do, you can, in their catalog, choose your 8-week accelerated or choose your longer 16-week course. And if you're someone like me who's very busy and very motivated, heck yes, I'm choosing all the 8 weeks and I'm doing all that online and I'm getting my thing done in a year. I'm not going to try to waste any time. So I think giving a lot of options for our students is also very beneficial, just in case you were wondering my opinion.
I pulled the email. The other thing that I liked that Dan had sent was the anti-drop training. Are you familiar? Did you read the article that Dan sent us?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the anti-drop training. So when I read that, I responded back to him and said,
Yeah, so like one of the big advantages too is any student, whether you're coming in, you miss the registration dates, you miss the enrollment, you know, you're only 8 weeks away. The
Right.
furthest you are away from starting a class is 8 weeks.
Right.
yep.
So the other one is the non-credit and other expanded learning options. So we're in the process of hiring this non-credit director. Not too long after the first of the year, we should get moving on that. We've already have been developing these non-credit career development college prep certificates, which pays us at the highest apportionment level there is. We've done ESL, community health workers making its way through, apparel construction and textile measurement and production. We are working right now with a local high school district. In cosmetology, they have all of the facilities. They haven't quite launched yet, so you know, for us to partner with them at the beginning, I think is a really good idea, and then maybe launch our own. Of course, you've heard about the commercial driver's license, and then the EMS basic and advanced provider. These non-credit certificates have been going already for a semester or two. Tim? And then the last is one of the strategies is a strong commitment to developing, expanding non-credit. So of course, Frank is here. You've heard about us talk about contract community education, that High Desert Training Center. We want to really move that towards a workforce development center. And we've heard about the forklift training and possibly having the CDL there. But, you know, as you've heard, that is kind of becoming the industrial corridor there, and we're like right in the center of it. So we're perfectly placed to become the workforce development center there, upskilling the workforce, and training, and working with the industry there in helping train their workforce. And then finally, our inmate and re-education, or re-entry education program. So our newly hired, met him a couple meetings ago, Wesley Wilson. He's partnering with our already existing RAM Forward program. Those are for those formerly incarcerated students. In January, myself and Dean Tarango and Wesley and a few other folk were going out to meet with the Federal Corrections Complex to start talking about that correspondence education. But, you know, they have a new person, that's why we're waiting to January till they show up. But they have shown us nothing but excitement to have the local college involved, because there's 2 or 3 other colleges in there, and the logistics to have them in there, they're really not happy with what's being done. So we're perfectly placed to get in there and start educating those individuals. So the last thing I'd learned here in the last couple of weeks, this Abundant Living Church, they tell us that they intake 1,500 recently released individuals every month. And those individuals need workforce training, credentials, those soft skills. So we're in the process of building up a non-credit certification in that. And honestly, you know, if it rings true, you know, they're talking, you'll get 800 to 1,000 of these individuals every month that we could put them through our 2-week non-credit certification in those getting ready for the workforce. That will be a game changer, right? To have that many individuals go through that every single month would be incredible. So that's all I have. Any other questions?
Dr. Todd, I'll tell you, the Abundant Living program is a real deal. The pastor behind it is, everything you see with him and his wife are a real deal. Do you have much interaction with Norco College?
A little bit. They're in our strong workforce region, so.
The reason I said, when you're talking about the industrial area out there in the base and what you're doing, last week I had the real distinguished opportunity to to walk through that Skechers plant down in Moreno Valley. That is only 2.6 million square feet. It's actually 4 million within a 2.6 million square foot. And with the developer who's developing 40 million feet of space, ultimately 120 million of that, and about 33,000 jobs. When we walked through there, I asked him where his challenges were, and he said with labor and trying to find people, but he said they're partnering with Norco. And he said they've had a pretty good word, where Norco received a large grant, and it actually has helped them in what they're doing down there. And as I walked through that Skechers building, and what he showed me, what logistics and distribution looks like, I had never seen it, and I've been in this industry for 40 years. So if you could find out, he said he'd give me the name, but I just think it's a great opportunity. And he said that we're gonna have the same issues up here that they've had down there, although they have millions of more people to pull from down there. But that's who they partner with in Norco.
We're going to be hosting a new position in the region. It's a employer engagement manager. It's a new position that was created using regional strong workforce dollars, and we're going to host them and house them here. And we've already been talking about, we're going to hammer that person pretty hard to get our employers engaged with us and how we can partner to provide a workforce for them. So we're looking forward to having that position for us.
Correct.
Can I ask a quick question before you take off?
Yeah.
Okay, so you talked about how you have 6 groups working on researching for the 8 weeks. Are any of them actually outreaching to students yet, or is it strictly just faculty that's kind of?
Yeah, so there was like operational questions that each of them have. We did the one student listening session, but I think one of the comments that has come back is, do we really have student involvement in this endeavor? So, and it's a very valid point about that. And it's more about education, right? So when people hear the 8 weeks, they got all freaked out. But that's definitely, once we get these operational issues worked out and we decide, yeah, this really could be a thing. We could, the college could pull this off. Then I think, yes, that's a great time for us. Because, in many cases, we just don't have answers right now that will come up for students, right? When students say, well, what about this? What about that? And we really hate to be, well, I don't know about that. We're still looking at that. So we hope to have many of these things worked out before we really engage the student population. So.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now the monthly COVID update. So I have here in my hands the first presidential declaration of President Jennifer Tarplin. He has declared the COVID pandemic to be over.
Wow. Okay, there we go. Sign it quick.
Wow. Where were you on March 13th of
Right.
2020?
Hey, just to
You
be
guys
clear,
think
I didn't know that was
random.
an option. They didn't.
Wow.
Go for Brandon.
I'd have done that a year ago if I'd
Wow.
have known you could just
April Fools.
sign it away.
So in San Bernardino County, their numbers are, they've averaged 450 new cases of COVID the last 3 months. 55% of the county is fully vaccinated. 62% have received at least 1 shot. As of today, OSHA has not updated any guidance since August 13th. VVC numbers over the last 30 days, we've had 24 positive cases. 19 were students, 5 were staff, 4 were staff, 1 faculty. 71 total quarantines over the last 30 days, 54 students, 17 employees, 13 staff, 4 faculty. 13 classes received notices of potential exposure. There still has not been a class roster that has had more than 1 documented positive case over a 10-day period throughout the entire semester. So we have yet to trace transmission on campus. So I think that's very good news. I know tomorrow there is new governor declared face mask, but we're gonna send out an email to staff. We've pretty much been doing that, so it's really no change. It's face masks in public places. We allow staff in their offices to not wear masks. Your office is not a public place until the public comes in, and then you put on your mask. So if we're in compliant, we're anticipating some further direction on food service. Can people take their mask off to eat together? So we'll keep, Ben's keeps updated on all the latest information, so I'm sure that will be clarified in the next few days.
And are there any other comments? The 7.7 President's comments?
No, I have no other comments.
Okay, so then we're going to take a 5-minute technology break. Thank you.
it back.
So did you have any comments tonight?
You have to sit,
No.
Brandon. All right, we're gonna resume so that we can get out of here at a reasonable hour. Thank you for.
I promised our
the-
favorite dean in the back of the room that we'd be out of here in 44 minutes, right?
In 44 minutes?
In 44 minutes.
Okay, you know, I'm one of those people that when my map thing comes on, I take it as a challenge, so.
But I talked to
Challenge
this guy,
accepted.
Mikey, and he said 43 minutes.
He probably said 34.
It was 34.
Okay, so that means we're gonna stop talking and go straight into 8.1, the Academic Senate. All right, moving on. 8.2, AFT part-time faculty. 8.3, ASB.
Oh, that's me. Okay, so now I will go ahead and talk about Lights of Love.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Lights of Love was last Friday. We had 451 children. We had, let's see, I wrote it down.
Love it.
CalWorks, CARES, and EOPS students showing up to pick up their gifts. Senator Beta messaged me or just let me know that we did also have people still trickling in today to still come pick up their gifts. So we do still have them up in the office. So we really do appreciate the support of the trustees, the staff, and the community members that were able to make this event possible. We also wanted to thank the maintenance and operations staff as well as ASB members for decorating the gazebo and the tree for the Lights of Love event so that they were able to go over there and take photos. And then we also wanted to bring to light that we were happy to provide support to the students through the art show and the study-a-thon that happened last week. I think the art show is still digitally going on right now, but we also wanted to give a huge shout out to Ann Wise for putting together the study-a-thon.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right, and 8.4 CSEA. 8.5 CTA. And 8.6 management.
They got turned on.
On? Tim, is it on?
It has a red light. So I would guess not.
If it was an Xbox, that's the red ring of death.
Technologically impaired. I'd say I'm TI, I'm not IT.
TI. Love it. TI.
Opposite.
Right? That's what I was thinking.
There,
right
not
now.
even an issue with the user.
How many people walk around with a battery in their pocket?
He
Tim
got
does.
it from a box on his desk, on his little.
That's pretty good,
Since
Matt.
Tim bought us these cut rate microphones.
Way to go, Tim.
Now he's got to carry a pocket full of
The
batteries.
off wish.
Thank you, Tim.
How's that? Is that good?
Yep.
Okay. I am, for those of you that don't know me, Dr. Teresa Seasai, and I am the Director of Nursing and Allied Health. And this is actually, it was a good month that I picked to do this because we have too much going on up there. you know. But let me just start real quick with Allied Health. The CNA program, we resurrected that. And we have a orientation for our spring group tomorrow. We have 59 students signed up.
Wow.
Yes, so we're excited. We're so excited, and so is the faculty. And then the high school program that we had to cancel last summer because of problems with the Department of Public Health. We have over 50 students signed up for that. And so the biggest problem is space and faculty, but we're getting there. We're getting there. The MA program, we had a retirement by one of our part-time, so Heidi Shaw has been running that whole thing herself and running from Victor Valley High School and her full-time job, and she's done a great job. But she's going to be, what she's done is she's taken the things that were done before their externship, she's doing that in the winter program, and she's got 18 students for that, but she has 35 for her spring group, and so she's just wonderful. Phlebotomy, will be Frank is going to be moving over with that, he's going to be moving that group over, and they will be doing, they're going to try doing 2 courses. They're going to take the MA students and put them through phlebotomy so that they're more marketable. So I think that's going to be a great program. I think it's going to work out well. So basically, it's just, you know, during the winter months, we got lots of room, but in the spring and summer, and Todd and I have talked, and we've got some ideas, so we'll make, if not, you'll see us sit in the parking lot. What can I say, you know? For nursing, we had our 5-year Board of Nursing visit. Got through the self-study. They didn't have any problems with that, but there were a lot of little things and one big thing, so we had some non-compliances. We've already taken care of 8 of those. They were some really simple things. And part of it was they wouldn't give us an extension because by the time I started the self-study, I had only been here for like 3 months. It's hard to do a self-study when you don't know the curriculum and the, you know, the faculty and how we do things. So it went better than we expected. Some of the things are just the fact that there had been no director there long enough to say, we got to fix this, or we have to do this, or this has changed, and faculty was just keeping their head above water. Okay, we are down 5 positions, and they have been stellar. We've had full-time faculty doing 2 clinical, 12 hours a week and everything, and so we have a temp, we have 2 temps now, full-time. They're part-timers that applied for that, and so we are going to be much better in the spring than we have been this fall. They won't be as exhausted. We had, as far as, you know, many of you may know that we stopped applications before I got here because there were 200 plus on the waiting list, and we are finishing with the last group in the spring, and we are opening applications in the spring in February, and we are not going to have a waiting list anymore because there were students on that 2 and 3 years waiting to get in.
Yep.
And that's, you know, all they'll have to do is come back and reapply, you know, and there are things they won't have to redo, okay, but it was just difficult because, you know, they could have gone somewhere else in that time and been done, but they kept thinking, okay, it'll come, and it just really got just backed up every year. So, you know, we've talked with Diane from counseling and faculty and everything, and we're just gonna, you know, take the number that we need, and then they can just reapply. They are writing, the faculty is writing a new curriculum. That was one of the really big things the BRM wanted to see, and so they will be here in the winter for a few weeks doing that. But they're excited because they had already started, and so now they just need to finish it up. And so I think they're a little more motivated because they know it's not a total whole thing they have to do. We are looking at getting 3 full-time positions out there, ready to go, get admissions, get that, and then we'll work on a couple of other ones. We don't want to try to do everything at one time. One of the things that has happened is that we have someone who takes totally care of all of our clinical placements and makes sure she has her people that she works with and makes sure that we're in compliance with every single one. You can imagine what happened when the governor said, ooh, you know, vaccinations and all that. She was right on top of things. And fortunately, that position that was funded by Strong Workforce and part-time is now, thanks to Todd, a full-time position that belongs to VVC. Of course, we'll take the Strong Workforce money until they're done, you know. But Jennifer is absolutely phenomenal, and a blessing to have her. That really keeps things moving forward. We have also taken on 4 BSN, RN to BSN positions. 3 of them the students can start during their schooling here. They can take them in the winter and the summer. And the one that really they like is from Chamberlain University because they give them 2 free courses while they're in school, and they are on 8-week semesters. So isn't that great? Okay. And then I did have a meeting with Wes Wilson, who works the new the new gentleman who works with our inmates incarcerated education. And we are going to be meeting in January to talk about that as a clinical site for nursing, as a clinical site for both psych and for med-surg. So it'll be nice to have something else to offer the students. And then the last thing is that talking to Wes, he's a math teacher, and he's been involved in a curriculum for a meds math course that a math professor and a nurse taught to students to really give them what they need, okay, outside of all that algebra and everything else that they end up taking. So we're excited about that because it'll be geared to the nursing students. They have to take a math test to move every single semester, and a lot of them end up having to come back and retaking the course because they failed the math. So this way, we can give them exactly what they need and they keep practicing it, and we'll get them through without any problems with that. That's it. Any questions?
What was the math class called?
Well, the one that he did and he has a curriculum for was called Math for Meds. And so we may keep it that or whatever, but it was specifically for nurses. So that, and of course, we're thinking about making an allied health course so that if we have any other, like medical assistants or any of those that want to take it, they're welcome to take it. It doesn't just have to be, for nursing. And as we see more, health courses coming through, that would be a great course for our allied health people, students. Any other questions?
Another quick one, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do you
Don't be
oversee the
sorry.
respiratory therapy program as well?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Do you oversee the respiratory therapy program as well, or no?
No, that is totally standalone. Okay? That was the way it was when I came. I don't know what the history of that was, but, and they are mostly, we only see them on the weekends. So they do share our skills lab. And so but we don't get to see them much. So I don't know if that was the history, why or whatever, but.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know we shared the skills lab, so that's news to me.
Yeah. Well, you know why you might not know is because the skills lab has been down because they were putting in the oxygen system for the ventilators. And then once it all got up and we were ready to open it again, something happened with the system. And so there was a part they had to wait for. It's probably sitting out in the bay, right? On a ship somewhere. So waiting to get that back up again. So what respiratory uses it for is live ventilators, because there are no, what we would call simulation ventilators. And so in order to use them, I guess the way they operate, they need oxygen, okay? And so they went through this whole project and got it ready to go, and then something with one piece of the equipment went, so they're waiting for a part. But,
okay.
Yeah. So in the past, they really didn't use it much, but they are now with their new full-time instructor. They have a really new neat mannequin, and we can use that lab. There's a room in the back with a window one way that they can actually do things in there with you, like a sim lab with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Thank
So
you.
good things coming up.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
No, thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your support. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to the consent agenda. I need to read this one too, right, Michelle? Nope, because I already read the other one? Yeah. Good, okay. So, public comments, I'm getting tired, sorry. Public comment announcement related to consent agenda items. It's board policy 2350. We're just approving, or do we have to take? We don't have any comments, thank you. And we can do consent agenda all as one, correct? My memory, okay. So I just need a motion.
You have a motion, second.
So motion by Brady, second by Henderson. Oh, student advisory.
You
I
forgot the student trustee.
can't hear
I was trying to be quiet
you. I
and
know,
discreet about it.
sorry. I love
was trying
you.
to whisper, but it came out loud enough for everyone to hear.
That is a very not so nice look on your face.
You
sir.
put me, you put me
All right, moving on.
Yay.
Thank you.
Brandon, one. Jennifer.
Got a whole year to go ahead.
What did I do?
You know what? You should stay in that position right there because now we can.
Harass my life. And so are we doing a vote? It's just me because they're harassing me. Shh. More cookies for my kid. All right, moving along. I can't even see this anymore. Yes. So we're going to the action agenda, public comments related to action agenda items. Were there any? Okay. And Board of Trustees action agenda 11.1. We had 11.2 adjusted, correct? It was a correction. We added a name.
Correct.
All right, and that was,
Fernando Torres.
thank you.
You're welcome.
And do we have to do anything on that? So we need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
So motion from Brady, second from, what's your name again?
Jeff.
From Wood. And student advisory vote?
Yes, please.
Thank you. It is so much harder than it looks. Shut your mouth. All right, and I can't even see. Superintendent President Action Agenda 12.1, Foundation donations that Shannon was talking about earlier.
I heard like 600,000.
Something, yes. So can I get a motion?
622,000.
Motion.
Second. Sorry, Dennis.
So kind. We have a motion from Wood, a second by Brady. Student advisory vote.
Yay.
I can't. Okay, 13, did it go? Are we good, Michelle? Sorry. Thank you, my dear. All right. Administrative Services Action Agenda Item, we have 13.1. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Student advisory vote?
Yay.
If you're looking at me, it didn't pop up. Yay. Yeah. Yes. Yo. I just refreshed the connection. I think I was like kind of paused out of the meeting. I'm coming back in. You can keep going.
Okay, 13.2. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Student advisory?
These are going to be beautiful. Yay.
Did it pop up for you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, 13.3, resolution, statewide educational wrap-up program. Can I get a
Motion.
Thank you, good job. Henderson was the motion, second from Brady. I need y'all to wear name tags from now on. Oh, there are name tags. Just kidding, just kidding. And student advisory vote.
Yay.
it's dropping me out again, I think.
It didn't pop up for you?
Yeah, it didn't pop up.
He's got connectivity issues.
Yay. Yeah, if I hit the reload button, it goes right back in.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like it's,
It's the internet, maybe. Wiping you in and out. Anyway,
Yeah, it's probably
moving on to 13.4, agreement renewal for the Education Advisory Board. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Student advisory vote?
Yay.
That was a motion from Brady, a second from Henderson. Are you back? Yeah.
Yep.
That one worked for him. We're good? Okay. And then 13.5, authorize superintendent president to negotiate and sign letters of intent with Forefront Power.
Motion.
Do we have a second?
second.
That was a motion from Henderson, a second from Wood. And can I get the student advisory vote?
Let me, we need to open this up for discussion. So John, explain to me, did we do an RFP for this service?
No, Spur has already done that RFP. And Forefront Power was won their RFP process through the JPA.
Okay. What does this, so there's no other company out there that we're going to talk to?
Huh.
Okay.
No. We sign this letter of intent, they do the application, and then we have basically a year to negotiate a project or not,
Okay,
or
so
drop out. It's not a binding
It's not a commitment.
agreement.
No, so I know what MOUs and LOIs are, we use them all the time. We use non-binding LOIs.
Right.
I'm concerned by voting for this, am I obligating myself, or will this come back to the board for a vote?
No, it'll come back to the board for,
Okay.
with
If there's a
design.
project that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so if it wasn't, then I wouldn't vote for it, if it's going to come back to the board.
yeah, no, it'll come back.
All right, any
There's
other?
a lot of discussion we'll have across the campus, and input from all the constituents.
So this is just an option?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this is just opening up the line of
Opening up, yeah.
communication.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion? All
Yay.
right, student advisory vote.
We're good there.
Are you still on?
Yep. Maybe.
Mine, you got it.
Yep. Yepper.
All right, moving on to 14.1, appointment of academic administrator, director of student services, Cal Works. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Tyler,
Oh, my gosh. So, who wants the second? You both want it? You're gonna have to do a little dance.
Oh, no. I'll take the second. Yeah, we don't want this.
Dance off.
We're gonna go with pink.
Wow.
And,
Was she dean?
who?
You would make him dance?
Did Brady
Yeah.
motion?
Oh.
Yeah, Brady motions, pink second. Pinkerton, sorry, that's just our little nickname. And student advisory.
Yay.
Thank you. All right, 14, are you relieved? There's no dancing?
Yeah, it's
You
like
were
that
worried.
show where you.
Yeah, I know. 14.2, revision of job description for vice president, matriculation, and athletic director. I'm sorry?
I need one more vote.
Oh, it's me too. This is so fun. It'll be fun, they said.
Yeah.
Do everything they said. Okay. Sorry.
Jennifer 2, Brendan 1.
Oh my gosh, stop. You're making it worse.
Just like that, you feel bad.
Do I?
But not really bad.
Yeah, okay.
But don't feel bad, a lot of people.
Let's get through this. 14.2. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Can I get a student advisory vote?
Yay.
All righty. I'm going to pay attention to the computer now. Oh, that was a motion by Brady, a second by Pinkerton. Sorry. I'll type up my notes. I know, I'm sorry. Oh, I voted wrong. I want to change it. I hate this already.
Hey, only
It'll get better.
Only 11 more months to go.
I don't want anybody else to talk to me for the rest of the night.
You'll have it all figured out by
Everything's fine.
December.
Are we good? Thank you. 14.3, renewal of administrator contracts. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Second.
Oh,
I heard Wood first, so that's a motion from Brady, a second from Wood. And can I get a student advisory vote?
Dennis, she didn't hear you.
Yay.
She didn't hear it?
No.
I guess not.
Is your mic on? I got a lot of pressure on me right now, so I need
Lot of
all your
pressure.
mics on and speak up with your outside voices. Thank you.
she's got a lot of pressure.
I do, it's a lot. You're in my ear, you're in my ear.
Yay.
Thank you. And we have a student advisory vote of yay. Did you get all that, Michelle? Because you're good, thank you. Screwing this up already.
We're here to support you.
I need you to move the 6 feet apart. Are we good? Yeah, okay. 14.4, increase contract amount for those people.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Discussion.
I think Jeff's on still, isn't he? Isn't this?
This is an expensive meeting.
Was he?
$100,000.
Remember he said I'll be back on later tonight.
I thought he
but-
said 6:30.
Yeah.
Well, he probably thought
Yeah.
we'd be to 14 by 6:30 is why.
No, I mean,
Has he
hopefully
not
he
met
is.
you people?
So John, what's the bottom line?
Wait, who was the second?
Me.
Okay.
Why are we giving him more money?
Because we've used up the hours for the original contract. A lot of work for Jeff this year. A lot of
Lord, yeah.
disciplinary issues.
No, I understand. So, but is his contract, I mean, we've never actually reviewed the contract. I'm real big, and I love Jeff. Jeff, I love you. I do think that the college needs to do an RFP every 3 years, like most districts, and they go back out and they take a look for services, so.
We did.
No, we didn't.
We did.
When Dad came in, he said he wouldn't do that. He was very clear because I brought it up. He said, no, I don't want to do that.
I thought we did.
I spend a lot of money with attorneys, so I can tell you.
You're like really sure, and I'm only like, so I'm gonna yield to you.
I'm a
but
penny pincher, dude.
man, I thought we did though.
No, but, so, what's this new contract do? Is it more hours? It's not an increase in rate, right?
No, it's just for this current year
They went over their
through June 30.
Okay, so yeah.
The amount.
Okay. All right. Jeff, I love you, but
Any further discussion?
No.
We're doing everything we can to reduce his hours, not increase them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Student advisory vote? Did I already do that?
Yay.
Sure. $14.5, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
That's a motion from Brady, a second from Wood. Student advisory vote?
Yay.
$14.6, new job description.
Motion.
Job,
Second.
Sharon. Is it me? No. Thank God.
Is it me again?
Who didn't vote?
I thought it took it, but I've got the little red hand that says change your vote. Should I hit change your vote or no?
Sure.
I hit it, it went away. Let me
You
see if
sound
it
like
comes
those
back.
people in Washington, man. I think I'll change my vote.
Did you
Okay, there you
second or
go.
seconded, Henderson?
Did it go?
Sure.
You gave me the motion. Who
Yeah.
seconded
Motion.
that?
Second.
Was Brady?
Second, yeah, I think.
Okay. Yes. We're on 14.6. It was a motion from Pinkerton, a second from Brady, and a student advisory vote of?
Yay.
Is it working? Mine did not pop up for that one. I'll give a verbal, it's a yay. Oh, it just popped up. You good? Okay. And 14.7, resolution.
Motion.
Second.
And that was a motion from Brady, a second from Henderson, and a student advisory vote?
Yay.
Okay. And then we have 14.8, non-classified short-term employees. Can I get a motion?
Motion. Second.
Motion from Brady, second from Henderson. And can I get a student advisory vote?
Yay.
Moving on to 15.1, amendment to the academic calendar.
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's a motion by Brady, a second by Wood. And student advisory vote?
Can I actually ask a question?
Absolutely.
And this is probably something that Dr. Scott might be able to answer. In my phone, I have college council on that Wednesday. Is there actually going to be a college council on that particular day, or are we free? Yes. This is, we're changing the graduation date. So this one
Yeah, the graduation
pertains
dates.
to June 15th.
Oh, that was a venue issue.
We don't, college council doesn't meet during the summer.
Okay. For some reason, my phone said it.
Yeah, that was like a
there one,
venue.
So I was like,
Double booking
Right.
situation.
Okay.
They booked a concert at,
Oh, no. Whatever,
they
yeah.
booked a concert on our
on
graduation day.
Saturday.
Out there.
So we're moving it to a Wednesday.
Right.
Okay, I guess yay.
No choice.
There was no way to move it to maybe like the 18th or anything?
I think they tried. I think they're trying to make up money for lost
Right.
time.
We had a Saturday date and then they booked a concert
More
over
money
the top of us,
from
so.
them, yeah. We're small potatoes.
Not really.
Do we even know which
I've seen the
concert
money
it
the
was? Isn't
ASB
it,
gives them. It's
Why are we
not
gonna
small
vote on it?
potatoes. What happened?
I thought I'd,
He
yeah, I
wants to
thought
know
I'd
what
heard who
concert.
it was.
All right, so did everybody vote?
Hee-haw. That's the hee-haw hour.
Yes, they did? Okay. All right, moving on to 16.1.
Motion.
Second.
That was a motion by Brady, a second by Wood, and student advisory vote.
Yay.
Oh, there it goes. It's kind of like ebbing and flowing, yeah. I love your face. Okay, and 17.1, Contract Ed, Bureau of Prisons.
Motion.
Agreement modification,
Second.
motion from Henderson, second from Brady.
Discussion, that's a great program. I think that's something that is really needed. We bring
Should
in
have been
quite a
doing
bit
this
of
a
money.
lot sooner.
It brings a lot of dough.
Any other discussion? Student advisory vote?
Yay.
Perfect. And we're gonna do 17.2 sub-agreement industry sector manager.
Motion?
Second.
I thought I saw it pop up, no? Okay, sorry, I'm trying to like follow.
Actually, I hit it late. It was me.
Sorry. So that was a motion by Henderson and a second by Brady on 17.2. And student advisory vote?
Yay.
Is that rain? I hear something. Is that rain?
No, I'm.
Sounds like rain.
Did it pop up? Okay. And we have 17.3 strong workforce regional round 6 participation agreement.
Motion?
Second.
That's a motion by Brady, a second by Henderson. And student advisory vote.
Yay.
Okay. Okay, and so now we're gonna skip down to 22. It says information and discussion. First item up for, discussion is 22.1.
Motion.
I don't think we
I don't
need a
think there's a-
motion, right? Yeah, 'cause
John,
Oh,
it's
this
just-
is discussion only.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry
discussion.
about that.
So this is quarterly financial status report.
The actual report's attached to the agenda. And you
So
can
we
read it at your leisure.
perused it ahead of time. Anything anybody wants to discuss about that? No? Okay.
No.
Moving on to 22.2, sunshine openers for collective bargaining agreement, CTAC, CA, and NEA. Anybody have anything they want to talk about?
Let the process work.
Okay. Same for 22.3, AFT part-time. Okay.
This is the first time I've seen all three of these together. So at least I think
That's
the
good
school is
progress.
trying to be, prudent in working with all of our constituency groups.
And then 22.4, AFT part-time United AFL-CIO,
Again,
proposal to district. Okay. All right, so we're gonna move on to the individual board of trustee reports. I just ask that we all respect the room's time. And let's start on this side of the room with Sharon.
Okay, well, I went to I don't know if any of you went to the art show, I went to it, and it's a little bit smaller than it was last time. It was really nice to see, and then also went to see the dance performance from kinesiology. That was beautiful, really pretty. And I wanted to add a few more things in regards to donations. If you go to Amazon, you can go on there and you can put in your favorite charity, and I did, VVC Foundation, and they put a certain amount each time you buy something. So just to let everybody know that.
really?
That's one
Yeah.
wish I'd known that.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gonna do that next
I
year.
could get a building named after us.
I found that out because I was
Yeah, for a
listening.
while. I mean, it's like our favorite button on now.
I was listening to our pastor from Loma Linda, and he was talking about, and that's where I got my infos from him, and that's what they do.
Very cool.
Now, does your name go on that when it goes to school?
I don't think so.
It's just like a group
Yeah.
fun, like.
Well,
You just
Like
put
the
in
box
who you
tops,
wanted to
kinda.
donate.
So they
it
wouldn't
to.
know how much you're really buying out there?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think so.
Tracking your spending.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I wanted to say, Dr. Todd Scott, I loved his report. I think it's fantastic, and what you're doing, what we're doing with that for the community, I think is such a positive thing. Totally positive. Love it.
Love it.
And the other thing is, I am happy about Jennifer being our new president. I love it.
Undecided?
You are
Not
gonna
more than
do-
me.
I love you too, Brandon.
No, I said not more than me.
But you're going to do a fantastic job.
You know, she said, "I loved you."
Yeah.
Okay, past tense.
Right, you got it. Loved, it's over now.
And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I guess we'll be seeing you next year.
Oh,
So,
yes.
yeah, a whole new year.
Whole new year.
And
I'm
that's
looking,
Dennis?
I'm looking forward to going to the nurses' graduation
On Friday?
this Friday. Yeah. And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, can I say one more thing? Of course. I'm happy to hear about the nursing, the waiting list. I'm
Going away?
going away. For years, I've heard, you know, it was discouraging for a lot of students. So this is wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Brandon?
You skipped John.
I skipped John. He's fine.
Sounds like
Did you have
No,
anything you wanted to
no,
say?
Brandon wanted to go last.
Merry Christmas.
So I'm glad you brought up the nurse graduation. Thank you for the invite. I will not be able to make it. We're leaving out of town Friday around noon for a little bit. So my apologies that I can't be there for that. A lot of you have heard me talk about my coaching the Oak Hills High School mock trial team. So the first 4 rounds are over. The whole first round, and now semis in January. And I am happy to report, well, first of all, you got to know Oak Hills, we fielded 2 teams. So we had a red team and a white team. Any school can field 1 team or 2 teams, 3 teams. So we fielded 2 teams in the county-wide mock trial competition, and our Oak red and white team finished number 1 and number 2 in the region.
Wow, cool.
That's the high desert region.
Cool.
So 1 and 2 in the region, and number 2 and number 7 in the county.
Wow.
Cool.
So we are off to semifinals in January. There's 4 teams that make semis. So we're the number 2 team in the county. So we'll be in the semifinals. And if we win semis, we go off to the state. Then that means we're number 1 in the county, and off to state we go. So fingers crossed. The Oak coach said it's the farthest that the Oak team has ever made it. So we're stoked. I'm stoked. I'm happy to be a part of it. You wouldn't believe how hard these high school kids work for this. They actually just did a full mock trial because we've been going on Zoom. They just did a full competition last night, our red team versus our white team, in person in a big room like this at Oak Hills, because none of their parents have been able to see them go because it's all, you know, closed in on Zoom. So all the parents got to come and sit, and we ran it live last night and did a whole mock trial for the parents. We're gonna go, now we're gonna switch sides and go the other way. The teams will swap prosecution and defense role, and tomorrow night we'll go again the other direction, because some kids will be in different roles, whether they're prosecution or defense, just for the sake of the parents. So, but it's also practice, because now we're going to semis. So I'm stoked. We're winning 1 and 2 in the region. It's my kids. Couldn't be happier.
That's awesome.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's oh, and I got a puppy. If anybody cares. Don't laugh. She's the coolest dog that ever lived.
What kind of dog is she?
A blue heeler. See?
Do you
You
need
already
a
know.
puppy?
Yeah.
It's the emotional support puppy. of
I'll
the
bring her.
VVCCD.
Yeah, I'll bring her at some point.
Yay.
She's only like 7 weeks now, but I'll bring her.
Are you done?
I'm done. Yeah, just go before I go
Okay,
again.
Joe Brady.
I promised Jackie we'd be out of here in
9:07.
43 minutes, and Mikey, I lied, so we tried. Brandon, I'm going to tell you, congrats. And when you get to the state level and you need somebody to help negotiate that big contract, I'm here for you. 20% off the top, and we're buddies.
Of free.
Yeah.
Of free public
Maybe he'll be the
education.
next Lou Saban in what you're doing. You never know. He makes $8 million a year.
They told me
Um,
if we win state, we get an Oak Hills jet.
We do?
No, we get an Oak Hills
No,
jet.
he's.
We got a jet here
Full of
anyway,
it.
so.
Full of it.
I just, Dr. Todd, I really get motivated by all the programs that you're working on. And I can't tell you, I took 2 VVC graduates last Friday down to meet Ido Banzivi, who is probably the brightest man I've ever met in my life. I've known him for years. And he's developing, a project with 33,000 jobs. The land alone is worth over $6 billion today in today's value. And when we got in the car, I said to these 2, there's an age difference, probably twice the age. They said, Joe, you really have got to convince VVC how serious this is. And I said, we talk about it all the time. Where I see technology going, we talk about technology, but when I walk through this factory the other day, it's the unknown. We don't see this. So whatever I can do to spur that conversation, it's a priority in my office. I have 2 people that graduated from here, so they remind me all the time. They reminded me as I walked out to talk about tonight. So, Jen, congrats. It was just 5 years ago that, you came to our board, and you've done a great job, and you've been a great partner here, and I really enjoy working with you, and hope you and Mike have a great Christmas. I hope everybody here has a great Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I really hope that our world, our country, our county, our cities can come together and we can show a whole lot more love next year. I'm personally sick and tired of all the hate and discontent in our world. So, Merry Christmas.
Agreed. Thank you, Joe.
Sure.
So I did attend. I don't know. I did attend the Cal State San Bernardino Educational Leadership Summit down in San Bernardino back in November. It was really informative, and a lot of the leaders in education were there. So it was a great day. December 1st, I did get the invitation to go to the Gardner Institute Transformative Conversations Board of Trustees and Student Success workshop. It was really good. It was on the Zoom. Thank you for the invitation. And December 3rd, we did go to the amazing VVC holiday party, and I just want to congratulate the Amenities Committee for a fabulous job. We had a great night, and I think everybody had a great night, and it was quite a success and wonderful to be back together. Again, I do want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season, and have a good night. Get out of here. It's 9:10. Let's adjourn.
Can I just make one?
I think I just adjourned. I'm just kidding.
Let me just say one thing. As I walked to my car last Friday,
Nobody cares.
As I walked to my car last Friday, and I was talking to Ido Banzivi. We got talking about the education in Norco. Riverside County 2 years ago, right before COVID, called him, and he addressed every leader within the Riverside County educational system, from elementary schools to community colleges. They had almost 600 people at Riverside to listen to him talk about where the world was going to go. So I said, would you extend that to the county? And on Friday night, we were able to cut that deal with Ted Alejandre, the county superintendent, who's a friend. So that was positive. So obviously, I'm proud to be a part of VVC and be a part of that. So just on the record.
Very cool.
And I got 2 quick things, sorry. Yes, excellent party to the Amenities Committee and everybody who made that happen. I was also at the VVC holiday party. It was a good time. Awesome, thank you. And my research assistant tells me that we got bumped out of Glen Helen for our graduation for Chris Stapleton. Whoa. Hold on. I was about to say.
I need
hey,
a motion to adjourn.
So at least it's like a big name, and you go, ooh.
Motion? Okay.
We got bumped for Chris Stapleton.
Am I allowed to second? Who's that? Am I
You
allowed
know
to
who Chris
second?
Stapleton is? Oh, dude,
Okay,
he's
so that's a
amazing.
motion by Brady and a second by Tarpley to adjourn. We're adjourned. Thank you for being here. Go home.
Pull up
Leave.
It's over.
See you, Mikey.
Each
did the dancing last week, and so Friday, Saturday
Thank you, baby.
is when the band and the choir go on.